Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the BAKA GAIJIN SHOW. I'm your lovable rascal of a host, Zeke Freek, and with me, as always, is my... Fuck, I forgot to get the list. Fuck. I wasn't ready!
Start it over.
No, we'll do it live.
Fuck it.
It's in my memo. I have a memo on my phone called Things to Call Kevin.
This just goes down the list in sequential order.
Some of these I haven't marked off yet. No. Let's see. No, I think I did say I was gonna like restart it with the reboot. As always, with my Inuit co-host Kevin Faulkner.
I'm fairly certain that is inaccurate.
You ever go to Ancestry.com?
No?
Well, we can fix that because this episode is sponsored by Ancestry.com. Give your DNA to the government for free today.
Welcome back. Donate to Sense.
Yep. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Fuck that. Take all your money. Donate to Sense. Yeah. It will be worth it in the long run. Trust me. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the BAKA GAIJIN show. It feels like it's been longer than it has, in a way.
Yeah, like, we only had our last episode, like, what, 2 weeks ago?
3? It was before.
No, we didn't.
Was it before Christmas?
No, yeah, it was before Christmas.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. Yeah.
About 3-ish, yeah.
Yeah, we were gonna do this before a few days ago, but I ended up getting a severe stomach flu, so that didn't end up happening.
Yeah, we weren't about to muscle through a podcast with him feeling like absolute garbage, so...
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to the BAKA... Hey, Kevin, have you checked out...
You okay, Zeke?
Yeah, I'm acting, stupid dumbass.
I know. I'm acting along with your acting. I wasn't serious.
And we are acting together. This is like, man, it's like cavemen discovering theater. It's like, I can pretend to... Imagine being the guy to come up with this and be like, I can pretend to be someone I'm not, going through things I'm not going through. And you can also pretend to be someone different than you are, going through things you aren't. And we are both going through this fictitious scenario together. And then the other guy hits him with a club and is like, get back onto whale. You know?
Well, this is simply revolutionary.
Yep. Oh.
But yeah, hi. I'm here too. Hello.
Caveman theater kids. Can you imagine?
Sounds like a really, really bad Saturday morning cartoon.
You know what? It sounds like a fucking Canadian show nobody's ever heard of.
Oh, jeez. It kind of does.
You know, fucking obscure teletoons have that feel to them. Have that quantity, that taste. You know, you lick it and you're like, this tastes like a mid-2000s Canadian television program for children. You know? You know, the kind of thing Cube commits genocide for, you know? Or whatever he does in his off time.
Oh, whatever it is.
Yeah. Everything. We don't judge. We don't judge here on the BAKA GAIJIN show. So, Kevin, what have you been up to lately?
Recently, I actually went through A Hat in Time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got the Switch version of that one, because, you know, what other platform do I have to play it on?
Could your piece of shit laptop run
it? Probably not.
I know that feel.
It is not the most optimized game in the world, no. 1 moment, please. Okay.
I told you it was going to be a problem.
Okay. Not that much of a problem, I swear. It's not that big of a deal. Probably.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, I played through A Hat in Time over the last, like, week-ish, like, week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And, fuck, I fucking love A Hat in Time.
It's pretty swell.
It is just this incredible. You know, you got a good game when it just feels fun to control.
Yeah.
Like, just moving around alone feels incredibly satisfying. But, like, this game has amazing platforming.
Yeah.
Like, just really, really well-designed platforming challenges.
Yeah.
I really like the world design. The world design of it, the moment I realized how good it was is when I had to start hunting down timepieces or time rifts.
Yeah.
And the small pictures that they give you to give you an idea of where it is, like almost every single one, it's like, oh, I know exactly where that is, and like
almost.
I had maybe
some of them are
almost
fucking stupid. There's that one for the first world that's in a pipe. I could not find that fucking pipe for hours.
Dude, I found that one really easily.
Well,
I don't know why, but I found that one really easily.
Well, someone is off my will.
It was actually a different one that was like it was like the last time rift of that world that I had an issue finding.
Oh, I found that really easily.
Oh, jeez. Well, now you're off my will.
Okay, is there any point in putting someone on your will if they're the same age as you? It's like, you've inherited my estate, and you're like, I'm gonna die in 35 minutes, you fuck!
Well, better start revising that will, asshole.
The point is, we're both really bad at writing wills.
Oh, God. But man, A Hat in Time is just such a charming, fun game. Like, more so than any other, like, 3D platformer that I've played in the last, I don't know, decade or so. This really does give me the same feeling that I had back when I first played, like, Super Mario Sunshine or fucking... Oh, God, what was it? Like Donkey Kong 64. Yeah. It gives a lot of that same feel.
Or Sonic Heroes.
Don't you fucking patronize me, bitch. But yeah, fucking adore A Hat in Time. This is one of those few games where it's like, the second I beat it, I was like, shit, I want another one.
I saw that. You bought the Dilk.
I did. I got the physical version that came with Seal the Deal, and a couple days ago I actually got Yakuza Metro. Yeah. Because I had $5 to spare. And
I'm glad it came with Seal the Deal, because Seal the Deal is really short, so I don't know. If I had to pay for it on its own, I'd be like,
yeah. Plus, it's nice to have the game on a cartridge.
I suppose so, because it is pretty big. It's a chunky boy.
Yeah. Like if you include the massive performance patch, it's like 13 gigabytes or something.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
I was what did you think of the performance?
Well, considering I had the patches, honestly it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
There, like, it generally kept to, like, for my eye, it was like generally a 30 FPS game.
Yeah.
I did notice a handful of stutters throughout my gameplay, but like nothing that really fucked me up too bad.
Yeah.
And whenever it dipped down into the 20s, it wasn't for very long, and again, didn't really fuck me up. So, the Switch version's fine.
Some levels are worse than others. The fucking last part of Arctic Cruise, with the ship sunk, that part runs slow.
I actually haven't gotten to that yet, so
Okay.
Yeah.
But I already saw you on Naki. Oh, you just skipped to Yakuza Metro.
Yeah. I kind of poked around in both of those, and it's like I think I'll go back to those later because I don't want to finish everything this game has to offer yet.
To be fair, for some reason, Arctic Cruise has like a much higher timepiece requirement than Yakuza Metro for some reason.
Yeah, you have to get like 35 of the 40 timepieces to access it.
Yeah, I still did it in order, but like, it's like, I don't know why that is the way it is.
Yeah. You know, normally I would be a little upset that you spoiled the end of Arctic Cruise, but the name of the ship is called the SS Literally Can't Sink. That's a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
kind of tempting fate there, don't you think, guys?
Okay, another level that I thought ran a little slower is that, you know, the part of chapter 1 where the entire stage is lava. That part.
Yeah.
A little slow.
I also had a couple of issues in Alpine Skyline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then again, that's like the biggest, most open area in the game, so that's not completely surprising.
Yeah, not really. It's a fun time.
But yeah, Hat in Time is fucking great. And the Switch port is pretty good, so yeah, go play it. Go enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, no, stay here. Listen to the listen while you play. You can do that.
You can multitask.
Yeah, it's portable, bitch. Fucking do that shit. I've been playing. What did I finish? I finished something recently. What the fuck did I finish? Oh yeah, I finished Life is Strange 2 recently.
How was that?
That was really good. I really enjoyed Life is Strange 2. I enjoyed it more than the first game, which I still really like. This one packs bigger punches, and I like the risks it took. And I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but like I really like the story it tells.
It's a regular old Empire Strikes Back.
That's a weird comparison, but if we're talking about arbitrary measures of quality, then sure. Sure. Yeah, really, really like that. I've been playing The Outer Worlds still, which I really, really like. I'm not in love with it yet, but I really, really like it.
Yeah.
But I decided to take a break from that and just randomly started playing The Messenger on Switch, and that game hooked me immediately in a way I didn't think it would.
Really?
Yeah, it has a really nice flow to it. It's not, aside from like a few bosses that gave me trouble, it's not too difficult. It's a really easy. It's very straightforward to just kind of keep plowing at it, and like it's got a good flow to it. It's got some very witty writing. The whole fucking most of the dialogue is just banter between your character and the shopkeeper, but it's really well done.
Hello, potion seller. I would like your strongest potions.
A little bit funnier than that. Potion seller, I'd like a punchline to this joke. I'm sorry. I'm fresh out of punchlines.
You are a rascal. Oh god.
That's so much. It's so not funny, it's funny. But yeah, I just got to the big shift, which is like, because like I've heard there's a lot of mixed opinions about The Messenger, and it's mostly because there's like universal praise for the first half of the game, and the second half is a really love it or hate it kind of deal. So we'll see how I feel on that, because I just got to that.
Right.
But so far, I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah. I've made one solid goal this year in terms of gameplay, and that's to finally beat Hollow Knight so that you can fucking watch Made in Abyss already.
Yeah.
That's our deal.
Yep.
The deal will stay until I beat Hollow Knight.
Exactly. Flashback. We're not doing a flashback. You think I'm gonna spend more fucking time editing this shit? Nah. Also, quick production note. Some of you might have noticed the last episode, the video quality wasn't quite where it was before. It's because I had to, when Premiere exploded, it took a lot of my assets with me. I had to cut that out from the episode before. I had to cut that B-roll section out from the episode before and use that. And I guess in the process of like uploading and re-downloading that episode, and cutting it around and re-rendering it, it didn't look as sharp as I wanted it to. Not sure how the situation is going to change with this episode. I might end up, depending on how much time I have, I might end up just doing that again, or I might end up using some different B-roll and try to put together something new. I don't know, but I just wanted to explain that situation.
Yeah, I didn't have too much of an issue because I watch everything on my phone.
Yeah, it's true.
Tiny little 4-inch screen.
Little known 4 inches.
Hey, it's better than the friggin' 2.5, 3 inches that I used to have.
I'm judging you.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Look, man, if there's anything Ratchet and Clank has taught me, it's that size matters.
Ha, I get it.
Yes. Is there any? You've been watching any anime this season?
Haven't gotten to that yet, but I think I actually will later in the week.
Yeah.
I plan on actually checking out what was it, Azoken or whatever it was, the new Yuasa series.
Yeah, whatever, from what's his face. I'm not watching it.
I have some interest in it. The opening is catchy.
I get why people respect him. I'm not a Yuasa guy.
I'm looking forward to Beastars finally being on Netflix.
I saw Beastars in different ways. It was alright.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. We're not implying anything. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna watch Beastars when that goes on Netflix. Shit, what else is airing this season? I'm definitely gonna watch the new Pretty Cure season. That's I think Healin' Good or something.
They're getting really
weird. They're getting really weird with the names now. Like,
Healin' Good.
It used to be really straightforward. It's like Heart Catch Pretty Cure, Sweet Pretty Cure, Fresh Pretty Cure, Small Pretty Cure. Now it's shit like fucking Kira Kira Pretty Cure a la Mode and Maho Girls Pretty Cure and Healin' Good Pretty Cure.
Like, are they eating the girls now?
Hug Toe Pretty Cure and fucking, you're really stretching it.
Hug Toe.
HUGTTO. Like, it's weird. I don't get it.
I'm perplexed.
Please, Toei, go back to normal names.
Please
return to the days where the strangest thing you've named a Pretty Cure series is Yes Pretty Cure 5 Go Go.
Wouldn't that be Yes Pretty Cure 555?
Was it airing at the same time as Kamen Rider Fives? I'm not sure.
That's not what I asked.
Well, that's 555 as well. So like,
right, yeah.
That's making me think. Yeah. It's both Toei, so
yeah,
gets the brain juices kind of going.
Wait, isn't Kamen Rider live action?
It is.
How is it animated by Toei?
Well, Toei also has like their live action.
Oh, so they're like DreamWorks.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a very weird, but somehow not completely inaccurate comparison. It's like we have DreamWorks, the animation studio, we have DreamWorks, the live action studio, and we also have DreamWorks, the distributor.
Yeah.
Similarly, we have Toei, the animation studio, Toei, the live action studio, and Toei, the distributor.
Yeah. We also have Toei, the destroyer of worlds, but we don't talk about that. He's still sealed in the cavern of the abyss for the next 10,000 years. But when he is unleashed, that's when Dragon Ball Super 2 will come out.
Oh, yeah. I fucking love how mad Dragon Ball fans were when the fucking Dragon Quest anime was announced.
Yep. We're proud to announce Dragon Quest.
Refrain 24 times. Hoes mad.
See, I don't give a flying fuck about Dragon Quest, but I find all this fucking trolling to be hilarious.
I've heard Adventure of Dai is a pretty good manga, so I'm interested to see how the anime is. Apparently, it had an anime back in the 90s, but it wasn't like the whole story or anything. So
Yeah.
this is a reboot.
Nothing says 90s like incomplete OVA adaptation.
Oh boy, how do you know it? Like,
Yep.
there's actually 2 different Dragon Quest anime from the 90s. One is an adaptation of a manga, and one is a completely original series, but they both were like fairly long form series that aired on Japanese TV. It's weird.
Yeah. I'm just remembering shit like Ushio Totora had a fucking 10 episode OVA in the 90s.
Which covered like a good chunk of the story, and then fucking, what was it, Studio Mappa came in, they're like, gonna fix this shit up.
Yep. We're still gonna blaze through the story in a short period of time, but it'll be a reasonably short period of time and not a stupid short period of time.
We're going to heavily streamline things, but to a point where it's not going to be stupidly compromised.
Exactly. And then I don't think we need to talk about the Stardust Crusaders OVAs, obviously. Although those are complete in a sense, you know.
Complete, sort of, and like
in the same way a glitch in the same way a glitch speedrun gets you through the game. Yeah. You know, I hear if you drive Wheel of Fortune off the track in the right way, you can actually glitch to the Dio fight like immediately.
Someone needs to try this.
Yeah, we've had enough of the American Dad speedrunning meme videos. Let's try speedrunning Stardust Crusaders, please.
Do it, please.
Actually, to be fair, the American Dad speedrunning videos are fucking hilarious.
Shit, I fucked up my speedrun. It's just he clips through the floor.
It's just, I've watched so many fucking like completely deadpan serious explanations of speedrunning the American Dad intro. It's incredible.
But to talk about this part of the American Dad speedrun, we need to talk about alternate realities.
Yeah. Oh, like every like fucking speedrunning bullshit you could think of, they've parodied, where it's like, and this is where you have to bring in a third GameCube controller. And but it only works if you're using this emulator on Windows Vista.
But has anybody ever beaten American Dad with 0.5 A presses?
And there's but on the 360 re-release of the game, like they treat like the HD widescreen American Dad intro as like a separate re-release of the game.
Oh god, I love it.
I love this joke so much. Oh wait, we're an anime. Oh wait, we're an anime podcast.
Whoops.
Right, I was gonna talk about what I'm watching this season. I started with a big honking list, but I've kind of narrowed it down because like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm that guy, and sometimes I'm not that guy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean. You feel me?
Sometimes you're 2013 Zeke. Sometimes you're 2018 Zeke.
Exactly. You get me. Really, Frisco be 2017 Zeke, and I won't watch anything. Barely. But yeah. So stuff I'm watching. I'm watching It Invaded. The artsy kind of police procedural mindscape series by who's this animated by? I gotta look this up. It's written by, this is a weird ass connection and it's nothing like it, I'm sure, but it's written by the guy who wrote the George Joestar novel.
What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently he's still getting work after that.
Cool, I heard that novel blew ass.
It's fucking, I mean, like, here's the thing about the George Joestar novel. Okay, it's a horrible book, but it knows it's a horrible fucking book, and hilarious, horrible book you will ever read. It's completely insane, and it's like a shit. It's like shit post the novel, and we kind of love it for that.
Sounds good. Bad.
Yeah, there's some fucking. I forget what the guy's name. There's some YouTube channel where he's like he summarizes the whole thing in 3 parts. It's pretty nice. I can't find out who's animating this shit, but the animation's nice. Of It Invaded, which I'm enjoying that. I'm watching Chibaku Shonen Hanako-kun, which is fucking amazing looking.
Oh yeah, I was gonna check that out. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
On the list.
Yeah, by Lurch. Looks so fucking crisp, and I really like the characters so far, and the whole setting and where it seems to be going.
Well, what else do you expect from the studio that made Danganronpa 3, which is a good anime? I'm going to fight this to my last breath.
I mean, even if you don't want to go that far, you know, you can like say stuff like Assassination Classroom or fucking.
Yeah, if you want to be a fucking normie.
Yeah, only normies watch Ass Class. Sentences I never thought I'd say. Why can't I think of fucking Lurch shows right now? Because for some reason all that's coming to mind is the shit I didn't love, like Gakugarashi. But they just...
Persona?
Did they do Persona? No, they didn't. You're a fucking liar.
Didn't they do Persona 4?
No, that was AIC.
You know what? Lurch.
I love this studio, I swear, but I'm completely brain farting right now.
Okay, so they did Majide Watashi ni Koishi Nasai, Danganronpa the Animation, Unbreakable Machine Doll, Re Hamatora.
Yeah, I like Re Hamatora.
They did Monster Musume? Shit.
Yeah, I didn't know they did Unbreakable Machine Doll. That doesn't look like anything they've done. I watched that. That's a 4 out of 10. Maybe a 3. It's closer to a 3 than a 4.
They did everyone's favorite, Scum's Wish.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
I think people hate that one, actually.
Sounds like it.
Oh, they did Hakume and Mikochi. Cool.
I don't know what that is.
I didn't watch that one. But, yeah, that's some of the stuff that they've done.
I swear they've done something else that I really like, but I'm not thinking of it right now because I'm stupid. I'm a stupid moron idiot. Anyway,
I think I just thought they did Persona because it was Seiji Kishi.
Yeah, that's true. But no, Seiji Kishi jumps around. And he's a good director, and you're all just mean. What?
He also lifts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he can talk shit about Seiji Kishi. He can whoop your ass. Absolutely true.
I love that I love that the most important thing that some people got out of the terrible Netflix anime documentary is Seiji Kishi fucking lifts.
Yeah. I mean, there's one takeaway. I'm watching Somali Tomori no Kami-sama, or Somali in the Forest Spirit.
Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cute one. Gotta keep an eye on that. Nice visual style. Watching, because Psycho Freek told me to, I'm watching Kyoko Suiri, or it's called, the English title is Inspector. That one has some nice dialogue, and it kind of reminds me of Noragami. But we'll see if it goes like more mystery or more action. I'm not sure yet. But it has some really natural dialogue where like they're explaining shit about the world, but it doesn't feel like they're talking to the audience. They're like talking to each other with information they would, want to reveal to each other. It's like,
it's just like really organically presented.
Yeah, which I really like.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm watching Muranase Shitan Gakuen, or the fucking My Partner is a Monkey, the anime.
What?
You not seen this? It's the one with the pink-haired wolf girl.
No, what the fuck?
Yeah, it has a very similar premise to My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
Well, now I need to see it because the entire premise of My Gym Partner's a Monkey as an anime, but with a cute fox girl, I think, is like, what?
Wolf. It's Wolf.
Wolf, whatever. Like,
oh, there's an
that
appreciable.
sounds amazing.
Yeah. I like the first episode. I haven't seen the second's out today. I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
Kind of want to watch Ishuzoku reviewers, with the two guys going around trying to bang every species of girl in a fantasy world.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pick that one up too. Interesting thing I found out about that one is, NSFW talk here to a degree, but
we're normally the Safe for Work podcast, but in this instance, go fuck yourselves. Zane did 9/11.
Don't. The One Directioners will come after you again.
Good, at least someone will watch us then. You gotta subscribe to us first.
But yeah, with Ishuzoku reviewers, something interesting is that there's a sequence in the anime opening where even on the ATX quote unquote uncensored version, they still censor the downstairs areas on the girls and whatever. But apparently the animator actually drew what was under the censor, and that was completely uncensored in the Taiwanese release.
Oh, those Taiwanese, they love their vaginas.
Yeah, go figure. You get some pussy in the Taiwanese version of this regular ass anime. What the fuck?
I haven't heard. How bad is the censorship in the streams we're getting?
Ridiculously bad. You know that like 18 and up rating that you can find on oh god, it's hard to describe, but like they plaster anything that is like it's really inconsistent. Like, oh yeah, you can show like the incredibly detailed bulge of a man's penis through his pants with no problem. Yeah, everyone can see that. But nipples through a shirt? Nah, censor that shit. No one can see that.
Okay. Well, me matey, must we take to the high seas once more?
Aye, we must indeed.
Aye, Captain, raise the sails. This ain't a metaphor for nothing.
Raise the sails, we take off for the Bay of Pirates.
I'm sure there's a lot of sail raising in this show.
No, they prefer to pitch tents.
One of these days, I gotta get a drum kit.
Just so you can do, like, on-the-fly rim shots.
Exactly. Some people, I like to call them faggots, might be like, why don't you just get a sound clip? Why don't you just get a little soundbite to play? And I'm like, nigga, we do things for real on the BAKA GAIJIN show, okay? I'm gonna get a real-ass drum kit and bring it into the studio. And you might be like, will that fit in your fucking bedroom? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna record in my garage just so I can occasionally do that.
Great.
That's how real we keep it on the BAKA GAIJIN show. We are committed to our integrity, authenticity, and delicious fucking tacos. I'm sorry, I had mini tacos for dinner and it was so good.
Dude, I fucking love tacos.
Yeah, but I had mini tacos. Cook them in my new toaster oven. Sprinkle them with the shredded cheese.
I'm not a fan of Taco Bell's, like, regular hard shell tacos.
Yeah.
But their soft tacos are actually not too bad.
Yeah. I haven't had Taco Bell in forever.
Yeah.
I had a bad job interview experience there, and I still don't want to go back.
Yeah, but if you do, in any case,
yeah,
I know, rare, but oh yeah, something else that I did recently was I watched the first season of Transformers Cyberverse. Because I was just really, really, really bored one day, and I was like, It's 18 episodes, and every episode is 11 minutes. I can get this done in 3 hours, which I did. It's pretty good.
Can't believe you speedrun Cyberverse.
I got through Cyberverse Season 1 with 0.58 presses. 0.5 vehicle transformations.
Can you beat Transformers Devastation without transforming?
Probably. Maybe.
Could you? I think there's some parts where it's mandatory.
No, there are a couple. Yeah. There's one part like.
Unless you've discovered some skips, you know.
But yeah. Cyberverse is a fun show.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a gripe with the show, it would be that it kind of lacks its own identity, because the only thing I can describe the show as in terms of its style and aesthetics, and just what it does with the world and its characters is basically just it's every Transformers ever, with a heavy G1 slant in terms of its design aesthetics, which I guess it's fine considering it uses the evergreen Transformers designs that they introduced back in like 2011 or whatever.
Another unified design theory I'm sure they'll stick with for a long time.
Don't count on it.
Toy sales have dipped 0.5%. Fuck it. Throw everything away and change it all.
They're probably going to do that for the War for Cybertron cartoon coming out, so.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But yeah, Cyberverse Season 1 was fun. I liked it, but it's kind of just, every Transformers ever, which is fine, but at the same time, it kind of keeps it from having its own unique identity. Like, that's something I really like about pretty much every Transformers before this, in terms of the TV cartoons, is that everyone kind of had it, every single one had its own identity. Like, even if it was a sequel to a previous season, like, Beast Wars and Beast Machines are dramatically different. Yeah. And Armada and Energon are very different because Armada is actually kind of good. I don't like Energon.
Did you like the third one?
Yeah, Cybertron's pretty fun.
Yeah. Does that one have racing in it?
Yeah, it does. They have an entire racing planet, Velocitron, which makes a comeback in Cyberverse.
Oh.
Go figure. I mean, for all of one episode, but it's a good episode.
Glad I asked.
Yeah. One thing that, depending on who you are, this might be a selling point. Transformers has always been kind of a robo sausage fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of male Transformers and very few female Transformers.
Isn't that by design? Because only one of the 13 primes is female.
Well, I guess so, but I don't know. It depends on which version of the 13 primes you're looking at, because that heavily depends on the continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cyberverse is a bit more balanced. For one, it has female Seekers.
Oh.
One of the characters is actually it takes the idea of the female Starscream from Transformers Animated and pretty much creates an entire character around her.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 other female Seekers as well. I think one of them is actually gender fluid, so that's pretty awesome.
Co will love that.
Oh, you funny, sir. You funny.
I know my 4chans. Kevin, I cannot believe the liberals are ruining our cartoons.
Windblade is actually like the main character of this show alongside Bumblebee, so it's great seeing Windblade get a lot of focus in a mainstream Transformers cartoon. I like that.
Windblade was in Robots in Disguise.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, I didn't get to her introduction, but from like season 2 on, she was part of. I think she was part of the main cast.
Oh, fucking bitchin'. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Windblade is interesting because she was actually created, technically speaking, by committee. There was a contest for.
I mean, it's Transformers. What isn't created by committee?
It was a contest to create like a Transformer that the fans would like.
Right.
And they came up with like a city speaker female Transformer with a jet alternate mode or whatever the hell with like a geisha style visual aesthetic. And they came up with Windblade, and she's become a huge fan favorite since then.
Thanks, Weebs.
Thanks, Weebs.
You did it.
Windblade's badass. I love Windblade.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Cyberverse. It's fun.
Did they take Robots in Disguise off Netflix? I feel like I heard that.
They took seasons 2 through 3.5 off of Netflix.
Wait, so we get 1 and 4?
No, we get 1.
Was it not a season 4? Am I making that up?
No, there is a season 4. It's the only Transformers cartoon with a 4th season.
Oh, was it ever on Netflix?
It was, I think, but like every single Transformers show on Netflix is now limited to only the 1st season, which is so dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's retarded.
Imagine trying to get into Transformers. You pick up Transformers Prime.
Yeah.
And then you fucking end the season with Optimus Prime lost his memory and joined the Decepticons? End.
Yep.
Fuck.
When's Hasbro launching their own streaming service, Kevin? It's gonna happen.
I hope.
It used to be so easy. They used to have like all of Prime and I think all of our ID in the same place.
They did, and I loved it. Like, that's the entire reason why I started rewatching Transformers Prime last year, is because I wanted to watch more than just season 1, but then I got to the end and I was like, wait, why are they playing Cyberverse next? And then I backed out and I'm like, wait, there's only season 1? When did that happen? It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
No one told me this.
A lot of fuckery happening with Netflix now. It's getting gang raped. By everybody and their mom wants their own fucking streaming service or some shit. Wait, right, yeah, anime I was watching, right?
Yeah.
God damn it, every episode is a fucking Transformers tangent.
I'm sorry, I like Transformers.
It's fine. It's fine. Rodimus, you're doing fine. Don't worry.
Better than Ultra Magnus over here. I can't deal with that now. Fuck you.
Welcome to the Random Transformers Tangent Podcast. Not even an accurate title, honestly. I'm gonna watch Magia Record. I don't know how much I'm gonna like it, but I watched the first episode.
Someone I know called it Doke Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, like Die Hard.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not sure. Man, this is just a day of fucking weird comparisons. I don't know. It's just fucking. You know me. I'm a cynical asshole, and I see instead of a proper follow-up to Rebellion, they're doing a fucking anime on their fucking mobile game where they're introducing, a million fucking who gives a shit girls or whatever. And it's like, okay, is there a fucking story worth giving a shit about in here, or is this just for the fucking idiots to jack off to? I don't even know. What?
I've heard it's pretty good.
I've heard that. But I don't know. I wasn't like super impressed with the first episode. I mean, like, I guess like directorially and like animation and visually wise, like, yeah, it's Madoka.
That sure is Shaft.
It looks just like a Madoka, but is it? This is a tangent. This is a tangent for another day, but I'm very disillusioned with Madoka Magica. pretty much for the past 7 years.
Yeah, you've told me as much.
Yeah, where I'm just like, finish the fucking story you were telling, or get the fuck out of my face. I don't care about the fucking Vita game that you never localized, or the mobile game, or the fucking Dockies, and fucking merch and commercialization of this thing that I once liked. You know, it's like, get it out of here and just do the fucking thing I want you to, or just shut up. You know.
You know, you mentioned the Madoka Vita game, and that just reminds me of the Nanoha PSP like arena fighters that are apparently really fucking good.
Yeah.
And like those games are actually what the 2 most recent Nanoha movies are based on. Like apparently those 2 games got fan translations fairly recently. I need to check those out.
All right.
Like I'm hoping I can like I still need to hack my PS TV, but like when I do, I'm gonna get the patch. I'm gonna get the patch. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm gonna get the patched ISOs and play those on my TV.
Yeah. Oh wow! Enjoy playing PSP games on your TV.
I've done it before. It doesn't look great, but at the very least, it plays well.
I mean, I'd be upset if it didn't.
Friggin' 240p ass shit on a 1080p screen does not look good.
How does it make you feel that those were never localized, but Aquapaza was?
Why must you hurt me like this?
For those not in the know, Aquapaza is a crossover fighting game between a bunch of this one company's visual novel characters. None of those games were ever localized, ever, at all. But somehow the crossover fighting game between them all was. And I'm still scratching my head about that.
We got fucking Black Rock Shooter the game. Why the fuck can't we get
I don't know. It's a strange and confusing world out there, Kevin. I'm scared.
Marty, I'm scared.
Localization is a cruel mistress. Nobody quite understands how to navigate the waters.
Makes me so upset.
Well, I exist to upset you, so it's fine.
Why are we friends again?
I don't know. I'm also gonna give Dorohedoro a chance. I don't know what the fuck it's about. I hear the manga was good, so why not?
Durher.
Dibber. Man, you just reminded me again how we called Caballeri fucking habanero of the Iron Taco, and that's still the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Wasn't that like when like the last time Neon was on our show or something?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Habanero of the Iron Taco.
It's not quite as good as, oh god, what did Neon say?
I don't remember.
No, it was.
Oh, are you talking about the Yuri on Ice joke?
Yuri on Rice.
Yeah.
If you want to know what we're talking about,
no. Probably. I think it was on twice in episode 11 and episode 16.
Yeah,
I think maybe once before. I don't remember. Whatever. And then like there's some stuff I just decided not to bother with. Like I was gonna watch the Nekapara anime, but then I thought I'm not gonna have the drive to keep up with that. Fuck it. I was also gonna watch that weird Amazon Prime exclusive thing, Pet. But then I was like, I'm not gonna have the drive to keep up with it, so fuck it.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Nekapara, if only because cute cat girls, and I like that. Yeah,
you see, I like that too, but like, I need more than that.
That's fair.
And Nekapara is not the place to get that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
With Nekapara, you kind of see cute cat girls, and that's just kind of what you get.
Yeah.
Now, Anime News Network wants you to think that it's a horrible, sexist and misogynistic series about slavery against women, which was coincidentally written by a married woman. So make it.
Don't peer behind the curtain. Don't Don't question. Don't question. Read and obey. Read and obey. We are Anime News Network. We know what's best for you.
That just reminds me of how fucking Mother's Basement was going off at length about how sexist and horrible Nekopara was, and someone mentioned Nekopara was written by a married woman who likes to have sex with her husband, unlike your wife.
I fucking love that I don't even see Mother's Basement tweets anymore. I see somebody, I only ever see them when 50 other people have already called him a fucking idiot for it. And it's so glorious. Every tweet he makes is so bad and so stupid. And everyone knows it now. Everyone's in on it now. It used to be, you know, it's kind of like, stop picking on him, you know, he's just doing this. And now everyone's like, shut the fuck up, Jeff. And I'm just like, yeah, man. I was telling Jeff to shut the fuck up before it was cool. Now we're all having a party.
Oh boy, yeah.
Every tweet, a new adventures of Jeff the retard talking about shit he doesn't understand, shilling Crunchyroll like a fucking sellout, being a general dunce, you know. And I love this new anti-Jeff culture we've created.
Look, Jeff, I'm sorry. It's not us, it's you.
It's entirely you. 100%. Yaku%. And then I watched the first episode of Koisuru Asteroid, the new monthly time Kirara shit. And
good old monthly time Kirara, the home of Hidamari Sketch and School Live.
That's a wildly divergent pair of things you've named.
It is.
I've actually seen a lot of Kirara shit, but like I'm not in the mindset of watching Kirara shit anymore. And this was pretty aggressively bland even by Kirara standards. So I was like, I mean, like the animation was pretty. They're putting Doga Kobo is putting a lot of effort into the animation and the style of the show. I mean, it looks nice, although, you know, I think the designs are pretty generic, but like they look pretty. They're doing like the whole thing where they're like individually coloring outlines like by different scenes and shit.
Oh, I love doing that. I love it when they do that.
Yeah, I wish they do that with good shows.
You mentioned it's bland by Kirara standards, and I'm just over here like, can Moza represent?
See, I never saw Kino no Mosaic.
It's a cute show, but if you're kind of if you're burned out on on Kirara stuff, you're not gonna feel much different about this.
Yeah,
it's basically just monthly time Kirara, but with a couple of Americans.
Oh, well, that just changes everything. Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen like Hana Yamada, Kofuku Graffiti.
Oh, if you've seen Hana Yamada, you've probably already seen Kinera Mosaic.
Look, if I've seen one of these fucking stupid pieces of shit, I've seen them all. That's, you know. You know I'm right. It's always the fucking 4 or 5 girls with whatever the hobby of the week is, you know, with the same fucking stock personalities and the same stupid Yuri baiting and they're all the fucking same. They're all studios change. Fucking the degree of Yuri baiting changes. You know, the topic changes. You know, sometimes it's coffee, sometimes it's dancing, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's cooking. You know, sometimes it's fucking astronomy. But, you know, it's all the same shit. And like 2014 Zeke, he was down to clown. 2020 Zeke, no longer down to clown. You know, my clown days are over. I like to think.
Gotta put up squeaky nose and the red wig.
Yep. I'm putting it away. You're gonna see my true face. 100% authentic, integrity, nuance. Other words I say a lot.
That just reminds me that Joker got 11 fucking Oscar nominations and film Twitter's having an aneurysm.
I hope it wins Best Picture.
Oh my god.
And next year.
Never before have I wanted a movie to win Best Picture so badly. Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Look, man. The Oscars are enough of a joke already that I feel like nobody should even be offended. Whether you love it or hate the movie or whatever, like, it's too perfect, you know?
You get what you fucking deserve, Murray.
Yep. I do want to see Joker. Is that on Blu-ray yet?
I think it's either on Blu-ray or it's on digital.
Well, that's a big difference. I will look it up one sec.
Yeah, I want to watch it too. Everything I've seen about it says it's a fucking amazing movie. So, yeah.
I've heard mixed. Ralph had a pretty shitty review on it.
Todd Phillips, the director, said part of the reason why he made the movie was that, quote, I wanted to sneak a real movie past the studio system under the guise of a comic book film. Which it's like, you know, at the very least, you're being ballsy here. You there?
Or am I here?
Okay, there you are.
Oh, hi.
There you are.
Yeah, it came out last week on Blu-ray.
Oh, fucking sweet.
Yeah, I want to see my library has it.
I'm probably gonna get it off of Redbox then.
You can do that with your fancy money and your, I don't know, gusto.
Sure, let's go with that. Let's not go with that.
We will not be going with that.
Nope.
Don't you talk about Kevin's gusto. He lost his gutso in a tragic incident years ago. And he's never been the same since.
Bitches don't know nothing about my gusto.
He had a gustorectomy. The Hershey Corporation came and surgically removed his gusto.
Why Hershey?
Well, because they make Snickers, and I was doing a play on the hungerectomy Snicker commercial. Yeah. Hungerectomy. What's that? When you have your hunger removed?
This is so dumb. They did not think that through.
Nope. Hey, man, just nougat about it, okay?
Boy.
Oh, what? They got one copy on Blu-ray. Fuck my library.
Damn.
You're a piece of shit and I hate you. Please marry me.
They get what they fucking deserve.
They'll all get what they deserve. They'll all get what they deserve. Kevin, I'm doing a new thing now.
What?
I've decided when I encounter general weirdness in my life, I'm gonna note it down on my memo pad. I'm gonna bring it up on the show. I suggest you do the same, but I know you won't.
Oh, I may very well do that.
I hope you do, because I like bringing up weird things. So, here's a weird thing I discovered this past week. Are you familiar with a little indie film called The Hobbit?
I am very familiar with a little indie film called The Hobbit.
Yeah, Peter Jackson's Hobbit trilogy. Are you aware that some people don't like the pacing and overall direction of these films?
I mean, you're taking the shortest of the Lord of the Rings books.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, it's not even a Lord of the Rings book. It's the book that predates the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You're taking the shortest of those books and dividing it into 3 different 3.5-hour movies, assuming you're watching the director's cuts.
Yeah. But, I mean, with the director's cut footage included in this conversation, some people have taken it upon themselves to create fan edits of the trilogy into either a single film or 2 films, or thereabouts, and recut them into something they find more digestible, because they believe there's a great adaptation buried in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand that.
But so there are fan edits of The Hobbit, but I want you to guess how many different fucking fan edits of The Hobbit there are.
102.
Okay, you're a little high.
48.
Just 42 or 41.
Damn.
Yeah. There's so many Hobbit fan edits that there is a Hobbit fan edit wiki.
You're fucking with me.
No, I'm not fucking with you.
Oh my god.
If I was fucking with you, you'd feel it right in your bumhole. There are so many. The Dwarfed edition, the Tolkien edit, There and Back Again Kilstein edition, There and Back Again a Hobbit's cut, a Hobbit an expected edit, the Angry cut, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit Maple Film edit, the Spence edit, the Hobbit recut, Bilbo edition, the 2-hour edit by Fiona, the Hobbit biblical cut, the Awesome fan edit, Billy Batson's The Hobbit, the Jolbit edition, the Little Hobbit, the Hobbit
Batson's The Hobbit.
The Hobbit, a cut of roast mutton. There and Back Again, the composite edition. There and Back Again, A Hobbit's Tale, the Scooter cut. The Hobbit Bloat Free edition. The Hobbit Abridged, Hunt edition. The Hobbit Wizard cut. The Hobbit book edit. The Hobbit Back Once Again. The Hobbit, a musically enhanced fan edit. The Hobbit Bread and Butter edition. The Hobbit An Unexpected Journey. The Unextended Journey, sorry. The Hobbit An Unexpected Edit, the Editor's Edition, A 13-Months Journey, The Hobbit Part 1 and 2, the Ironfoot Edition, The Hobbit Reconstructed, The Hobbit or There and Back Again, Lurtur Edition, the Original 2-Film Structure Edition, The Hobbit Duology, The Hobbit Enhanced Edition, and Lord of the Rings Quintology, The Rise of Shadow / The Flame of the East. And then there's also
shit.
And then there's also a bunch of like partial edits, like the Arkenstone edition or the something called Fire of the Dragon, Into the Fire, Fire and Water, Last Light, Battle for Lonely Mountain, Dol Durin Folk. There's so many fucking Hobbit edits that I have to think some of these have to be functionally identical, you know, in terms of editing.
Like, just from the titles, I can tell there are at least 3 or 4 different versions that are adapted to be as close to the book as possible.
Yeah. It's like, 'cause I'm very interested in seeing like a really good fan edit of The Hobbit. I really am. I don't hate the movies as they are as much as most people do. Because I'm one of those fucking nerds that just kind of likes more shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand. I mean, even there are parts of fucking Battle of Five Armies I fucking fell asleep through. So you know,
Yeah.
it's not the pacing and direction of these films is not lost on me. So I'm really interested in seeing a good fan edit of The Hobbit. The problem is, which one do I fucking go with?
There's 41 different versions.
And I can't find like a really good consensus because everybody's got like the one that they found. And they're like, well, I really enjoyed this. Well, I really enjoyed the Joe-Bolt edition. I don't know who Joe-Bolt is, but I hope he did a good job, you know?
Yeah.
So like, there's some research required here. There's a lot of fucking work to find the fucking Hobbit fan edit for you.
Reminds me how there's like multiple different versions, like multiple different fan versions of the original theatrical version of Star Wars. Like, you know, the specialized edition, but there's also the silver screen edition. There's the fucking 4K remasters. There's the fucking Grindhouse edition. There's like all these different versions, and it's just the same fucking movie.
I feel like most people stick with Harmies these days, though.
Yeah, though the 4K remaster is looking pretty good, though.
Yeah. There's also the fucking prequel anti-cheese edits. I've never seen those, but to me that feels like you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like you're missing some of the magic.
Like, what, you gonna cut out the death sticks? Don't cut out the death sticks.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life. I fucking love that.
Yep. So good.
I love how even Nostalgia Critic was like, I fucking hate Attack of the Clones. It is a boring ass movie. This is the best part of the film.
It is pretty good. It's pretty sweet. You know, it's like, but look, man, the cheese is part of the experience. You can't cut out the cheese. You know, you can't. You heard it here first. You cannot cut the cheese. I won't allow it.
Oh boy, here comes another tangent.
There's no cheese cutting on this podcast.
So that just reminds me of how the Star Wars extended universe from the George Lucas era.
Yeah.
I can't believe I have to make that distinction now. Fuck you, Disney.
Back when we used to use Battle Before Yavin.
I'm not starting with that.
We're not even getting into that.
No, motherfucker, do not.
That's a whole ass podcast for a different day.
Oh boy, it might be. Make a whole segment about that.
Yeah.
But that just reminds me how someone mentioned, Jesus, there's kids screaming out there. That just reminds me how back when George Lucas was letting a bunch of writers do whatever in the EU, like he had people who the writers had to go through these people to try and get things sorted out so that there was some consistency between the EU and the main series, so that, canonical consistency. And one of the writers was writing a story based around spice, and the person who the editor was like, no, you can't depict spice as being this highly addictive and destructive drug. It's just ingredients for things. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a very dangerous drug. And it got so out of hand and so ridiculous that the matter actually got to George Lucas himself, and George Lucas actually had to step in and say, what the fuck are you talking about? Spice is basically just space heroin.
Perfect. I love it.
It's great. It's like, what are you talking about? Spice is space heroin. Which I'm going to remind you, actually made it into the Clone Wars, which aired on Cartoon Network.
Hell yeah, it did. The other weird thing I found just fucking an hour ago was that Stitch is getting a manga set in feudal Japan.
Like Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah. Disney Stitch.
What the fuck?
I have the article right here.
That's like...
I don't get it.
It's like if it...
It's not like anything, really.
What the fuck?
It's an anomaly all its own. Manga creator Hiroto Wada launched a new manga titled Tono-sama to Stitch, or Tono and Stitch, or The Lord and Stitch, on Kodansha's Comic Days manga website on Monday. The manga features character Stitch from Disney's animated film Lilo and Stitch. In the film, Stitch is an intergalactically wanted alien fugitive who flees to Earth and lands in Hawaii. In the manga, instead of landing in Hawaii, he lands instead in feudal Japan and meets the warlord Yamato Mason. When the feudal lord sees Stitch, a feeling bubbles up within him for the first time. Cute.
I don't know what to make of that.
This is real.
It doesn't sound real.
It's a real. I will send you this fucking ANN article about it.
Oh boy.
I know Stitch got its own fucking anime forever ago.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, which, but this is a whole new level.
The anime, which aired all 5 episodes on Disney XD.
Yeah. We should review that one day.
Maybe
not the whole fucking thing, but
the 5 episodes that aired on Disney XD.
Maybe, I don't know. I want to get the authentic Japanese experience.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to see what Asian children were subjected to.
I've heard it's okay.
Yeah, but I am curious. It's one of those oddities.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Hero Man or Powerpuff Girls Z.
Boy, man. I mentioned one time that I wanted to see Powerpuff Girls Z get it broadcast on Cartoon Network, and I got fucking eviscerated.
Yep.
And I'm like, guys, what the fuck? It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
The thing is,
never sat through the whole thing. It's like, you know.
The thing is, now that we have the 2016 Powerpuff Girls reboot, a lot of people are like, you know, looking back on Powerpuff Girls Z.
Powerpuff Girls Z, a retrospective. Was it really that bad, or are we just blessed with, you know, not with unignorance?
Maybe we were a little fast to judge. Fuck.
Were we a little hard on Powerpuff Girls Z? It's possible. We discuss.
Nick Creamer has the details.
Rebecca Silverman's got the scoop.
Kim Morrissey investigates.
Fuck this website. What has it done to us?
I actually like Kim Morrissey, but, you know, that aside.
Well, it used to be like every now and again they do that, but now it's like every fucking article, they're just like, and blank has the story, or some bullshit. And it's like, shut up. I know you're trying to bolster your careers for less shitty things, but come on.
Just, come on.
Be a faceless entity I can fling shit at. You know you want to.
Yeah.
I know you.
Want to end the segment?
Yeah, I think it's run its course a little bit.
A little bit.
Because things seem to be getting pretty rowdy over there.
Just a bit. Gonna wait for it to calm down over here, and then we can start segment number 2.
Segment number 2, the main segment, as it were, the creme de la creme.
Oh boy.
Whatever the French term is for main course, it's definitely not that.
No.
But we will see you on the BAKA GAIJIN Show after the break. Catch you there. Welcome back to the BAKA GAIJIN Show, chillest podcast on the internet. You know the one. I'm Zeke, Freek, Kevin. You know, you know us, it's fine. Today, we're talking about something a little unusual, but also not. We're talking about we're talking about the Yeti trilogy. We're talking about a series of CGI animated films that have no real connection to each other, made by completely different studios, completely different creative teams. Somehow, all came out within a year of each other. All animated family films that contain prominently Yetis or Sasquatches or creatures of myth, you know, big-footed things, you know. And we decided to watch them all. I mean, I was going to anyway, but whatever the fuck. And talk about them in sequence.
Oh boy. Yeah,
yeah.
This was a fascinating experience because, you know, you'd think with, you know, three different. I think it says a lot about the. I think it says a lot about the diverse creative teams that we have in the animation industry now. That we somehow had 3 animated movies come out in the same year, all having very similar subject matter, but every single one of them is, in terms of story and style and just overall, you know, tone and execution, like they're all just vastly different and like really good in their own ways.
Yeah.
You know, spoiler, all 3 of them are good.
Yeah.
But
how good? Tonight we find out.
We do, but man, that's a hard one to pick, though. We'll see.
But there can only be one winner in this battle royale of Yetis.
Oh god, I'm imagining like literally just putting like Migo, Mr. Link, and fucking what was the abominable Yeti's name again?
Everest,
yeah, like putting all 3 of them into a fucking cage, just seeing them all go at it.
I mean, I feel like Everest has the advantage.
Oh yeah, the whole magic thing.
Because he's got fucking terraforming powers, you know?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of an advantage, yeah.
Yeah. Migo's coming in strong with being a Yeti, and Mr. Link's coming in strong with being a quasi-Yeti Sasquatch missing link thing. But, Everest is just a tumble of muscle and has fucking magic-ass powers that can, like, turn a flower field into a fucking ocean. So, you know, not a fair fight.
Well, which movie are we going to cover first, Zeke?
Do you want to cover them in release order, or...?
In release order, I believe Smallfoot would come... Or, sorry, no.
Yes.
Missing Link would come first.
No, Smallfoot would come first.
Are you sure?
Yes, because Missing Link was this year. Smallfoot was like late last year. Or late 2018. It was like...
No.
Yes. Fuck you. It was September of 2018 that Smallfoot came out.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I will literally look this up right now.
September 2018. Suck my dick.
Smallfoot came out September of 2018. Fuck. Okay, fine. Smallfoot first.
Damn! Lick my fucking penis.
No.
It's your punishment for being wrong.
Dude.
Came out first.
I'm wrong all the time.
I mean, that's true. But, I mean, that's only good news for me. On second thought, I don't know if I want your weird teeth anywhere in my junk, so...
Of course.
Sweetie, get some dental done, then we'll talk.
I mean, Smallfoot was the first one I saw anyway, so sure.
Yeah, fucking one out. Hey, samesies. Smallfoot. I went into it. This was during my period of watching a shitload of fucking animated movies for some reason from the library that I'd missed. Just dozens. I think I was catching up with all the Pixar films I missed, and I was just like, let's just keep going. And then I saw a bunch of different CGI films I missed. Smallfoot was on the list, and it really surprised me because I didn't think it was gonna be. I thought it'd be cool. I thought it'd be enjoyable enough. I didn't think it was gonna be exemplar. You know?
Yeah, like this is one of those movies you kind of go into not expecting a whole lot. Like, you know, a fun family comedy with Yetis in it. Haha. But I mean, it is that, but shit, it's also actually really great.
Yeah, it's like really tightly written and like about something. You know,
it actually explores, like, it actually chooses like certain themes and ideas and actually explores them in ways that are done very smartly, but like they're done intelligently, but in a straightforward way that it's easy for young audiences to understand.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, this is a film about authority and doctrine and questioning and kind of power in a way, or the power of information, I should say.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, because Migo lives in this village that believes all these things that, you know, even from the first scene, even from the first glance, seem, you know, unusual. You know, the world is held up by mammoths, the sun is a snail, you know, all that kind of, all the, you know, they gotta fling themselves at the gong to rise the sun, you know, because I mean there's no other way to ring a gong, you know.
Oh yeah, no, there was that one guy that had the friggin', what was it, like
The fucking stick theory. We don't talk about that guy. You know. And so all these Yetis live in this isolated village following the stones, the strict, you know, almost religious like doctrine, you know, of, you know, commandments, as it were.
Yeah, like, and this is stuff that they've been doing for like over 1,000 years at this point.
I mean, it's not really established how long Yetis live or like whatever, but like for a while, generations, you know.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for a long enough that, you know, only the Stonekeeper really knows the truth, you know.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. But and it's all about how Migo, a Yeti who's the son of the Gong Ringer, who's about to become the next Gong Ringer, spent his whole life you know, chucking ice in pits for some reason and waking up and ringing the gong, waking the village. And the opening song by the way, Migo's voiced by Channing Tatum, who does a pretty good job. He's actually a pretty good voice actor.
And an amazing singer, turns out.
Yeah, he's actually a really good singer.
The fuck, Channing Tatum can sing.
Yeah, I really like the opening. I think it's called Perfection, and it's a really good. All the songs are really good. Not my favorite song, but like it's really good.
That surprised me. Like, this movie has like fucking great music.
Yeah, it's got like 4 big songs, and I love them all. I've listened to them repeatedly on YouTube. But yeah, the opening number does a great job of setting up the village and what Migo believes and all that. And then, but it all changes when he finds a Smallfoot and starts questioning the stones. We don't do that here. We don't question the stones.
Then his ass gets fucking booted out of the fucking village.
Yeah. And then the other side of the story is Percy. I forget his last name, but who I like Percy because he's not like a stock fucking like audience surrogate character like at all.
No,
you know,
he kind of has his own story that runs parallel. He has his own story that runs parallel to Migo.
Yeah.
In that he's this washed up sort of National Geographic style, documentary guy.
Yeah.
And he's trying to figure out ways to boost his views in, very artificial ways.
Yeah. Can't quite survive in the age of, YouTube and all that anymore.
Yeah.
Which is a little confusing because he doesn't look that old, but I guess like time moves fast, His
entire thing is that he's kind of lost his sense of integrity over time.
Yeah.
And his entire arc is about him regaining that sense of integrity and truly coming to, what's the word I'm looking for, like take hold of that sense of wonder and discovery and that desire to
understand the world.
Understand the world and like different endangered or rare species that assistant who, fucks off.
Oh, you're talking about Brenda? Brenda. I love Cell Spack's review of this movie. It's like, the only character whose name I definitely remember is Brenda, and that's just because Percy says it like 87 fucking times. Sometimes in the car I'll just be going like, Brenda.
Oh, Moana.
What a great film. I don't know where that came from, but I respect it.
Love you, Max G.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously know where it came. I meant the moment, not like the line.
I don't know, something about that.
Yeah, but rediscovering, questioning the world around you and learning about it and sharing that information with an audience, the people, and obviously a story about integrity and authenticity is going to appeal to me. So. But like it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like phoned in. It doesn't feel like a fucking like an audience surrogate fucking whoa, what's this? Like a fucking like Planet 51 or whatever the fuck that was called, that kind of shit, or some bullshit like that. Some typical animated children's film. Like there's an actual character here. There's an actual like plot that ties into the greater themes of questioning and understanding and information. Searching for the truth and whatnot.
What I liked about this movie is it didn't really feel preachy or like it was trying to over-explain things for the benefit of, the young kiddies that are watching. Like it explained things in a pretty straightforward and, simplified but very to the point manner that I enjoyed.
Yeah. By the way, spoiler alert for all these films, by the way.
Oh yeah, hella spoilers.
Yeah,
I'm trying to talk.
Yeah, especially Smallfoot is hard to discuss without spoiling it.
Yeah, because all the best parts of this movie are spoilery as hell.
Yeah, so you have been warned. And I mean, might as well. We don't have to recap the entire plot, but like, but like over the course of meeting like the outcasts and learning about the world below the clouds, and starting to question those stones, Migo discovers the truth that the Stone Keeper has been hiding from everyone, with an awesome fucking pseudo villain song.
Oh my god,
which I think rivals the Disney Renaissance films, honestly.
The thing with me here with Let It Lie, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
The thing with Let It Lie for me is, how often does a family animated movie cast a rapper in a voice role and give them a genuinely really good rap song?
Yeah.
Not fucking often, but they gave Common the best song in the movie.
Yeah. I love that. Because when you first meet the Stone Keeper, he has this rapper voice, and you're like, well, that's a little odd. I don't know if that fits. And then later on, you're like, this absolutely fits. I know why they did this.
Let It Lie is a fucking amazing song because it's just
so good.
It's lore, dude. It's like half lore, half kind of explaining the history of the history of the village, why they're hiding from humanity. Explaining that these clouds are not really clouds; it's steam that our morning ritual is actually creating, so that we can be more shut off from the Smallfoot down below.
Yeah. Every job and every task, as pointless as it seems, all of it is to ensure this important machine keeps churning and burning and spinning around, so those below don't look up and those above don't look down, because they'll look. Because even if they hear of these atrocities, the only thing that's stronger than fear is curiosity.
Oh, fuck. The lyrics of this song are so freaking fantastic.
Did you ever expect a family CGI Yeti movie to include the line, even if they hear of these atrocities, the only thing that's stronger than fear is curiosity?
That's like legit deep.
I know.
Like actually tackling fairly mature subject matter. It's really good.
Yeah. And like,
Like the entire thing of tackling propaganda and the entire ideology behind it, and it's not even like a negative ideology. It's it's well intentioned.
Yeah.
Because the only reason the Stonekeeper does this is because he doesn't want Yetis to die off. Because in the past, the Smallfoot would hunt and kill Yetis.
And like you can't even disagree with them because like humans,
It's just kind of human nature. And there's a point in the song
I love it
where Migo is like, my Smallfoot's not like that, and the Stonekeeper says, tell me, Migo, when you met the Smallfoot, did he greet you with open arms? There is just this no dialogue moment where Migo thinks about it, and we see flashbacks to when he first meets Percy, and to the stone carvings on the wall detailing the history of the Yetis. And like what Percy does when he first meets Migo directly copies what is happening on the stone carvings. He's throwing a spear, he's shooting at him, he's trying to strangle him. And it's really effective.
But like when you were in that scene, you were like you understand why Percy's doing these things because he's afraid. Because like we have to establish here for people who haven't seen the film, the Yetis and the humans can't actually talk to each other. Because to the Yetis, the humans just have like these like high pitched squeaks, like, and then to the humans, the Yetis have these like deep gutturals, like they can't. There's you could call it a language barrier generously, but like through like mysticism or whatever, they can't actually communicate directly. So that's why things are the way they are. But it's so brilliant in that moment because you don't even think about it. But then like once it actually shows the parallels, you're like, oh.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the scene where Migo and Percy first meet, it is completely played for laughs. It's just, over the top, silly humor and whatever. But it's recontextualized in a really dramatic way later, and it's really well done. I love that.
Yeah, I love it so much. That was the moment I realized this film was very tightly written.
Speaking of, this movie has fantastic physical comedy.
Yeah, it does.
There is a sequence right after Migo gets exiled from right after he gets exiled from the village, but before he meets the SES.
Yeah.
Where it is basically just a Looney Tunes cartoon for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. It's been a long time since I've seen the film actually, but yeah, that stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good animation and whatnot. And it's a funny film because I love Percy's personality, and I love that one C's member that everyone hates, the short one.
He sucks.
Fuck that guy. but so funny. It's just a really solid package altogether, with an actual like thematic point. Also, Zendaya is Michi, and Zendaya's song is actually really good too.
It is. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think that one's called "Wonderful Life" or something.
Yeah.
It's
kind of the antithesis of the opening song too, because
in a way,
because the opening song is pretty much about everything in the village is great. I love following the stones, and the best thing to do when you have questions is just keep pushing it down and not question anything. Just kind of go about your lives. Whereas Michi's song is about questioning everything and learning more, and expanding your horizons, figuring out what the truth is, and following the truth.
Oh, by the way, I almost forgot, but like when Migo's in doubt because he's lied to everyone again about the Smallfoot, and he goes back to his dad, and his dad has that there's that brilliant metaphor with the gong ringing about it's hard but you do it, or how did it go again? I honestly forget how it goes, but I remember it being so genius in the moment.
Oh god, I don't remember either, and I saw it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I gotta watch it again because that was a great scene where somehow something from the beginning where they were tying in with the rules of gong ringing, but they also equally apply to dealing with deception and truth, and doubt, I guess, in yourself and what you believe and whatnot. And it's like it was really good.
Always stay true. I was talking about ringing the gong.
Yeah. Just an overall very solid package. I really like this film.
Yeah, Smallfoot's fucking great, dude.
Yeah, it's a modern fable in a way, you know. I think this is actually, I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be christianreviews.com, but you know, it's a good film to show kids because I think like it actually does have an important message, you know, that I think people in general need to hear, you know. And I didn't think I'd say that about a CGI Yeti movie, but here we are.
Go figure.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. So next up is studio. By the way, Smallfoot was made by Warner Animation Group, who is continually underappreciated for how consistently good they are.
Everyone goes on and on about the Lego movie, but no one ever talks about any of the other work.
Yeah. Smallfoot's great. Lego Batman movie was great. Lego Movie 2 is really good. You know. I think the weakest film I saw from them was the Lego Ninjago movie, and even that was a fun time. So like, you know, WAG, look out for WAG. There's, you know, they got some people there. They got some passion. I'm looking forward to their output. But anyway, next up is Studio Leica's Missing Link. You might remember it because it just won a Golden Globe.
Against fucking Toy Story 4.
Yeah, and all the other Disney shit.
And it's currently up against Toy Story 4 again at the Oscars. I'm half expecting it to win.
Yeah, it might carry that momentum.
It might. I'm really hoping it does. That would be.
There's also some other contenders in the ring, though. We were talking about this before on our own, but there's a lot of diversity in the Oscar animation pool this year. For those who don't know, the Oscar nominations are How to Train a Dragon, The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Klaus, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. That's a relatively diverse pool of animation for the Oscars, honestly.
Like, Klaus is the first traditionally animated non-anime movie we've had nominated for a Best Animated Feature award in a really long time.
Yeah. I have not seen I Lost My Body. I don't know what that is.
I haven't either, and I really want to watch Klaus, though.
Yeah, it seems pretty artsy by the title.
Yeah.
You know, I saw The Hidden World. I saw Toy Story 4. I really like Toy Story 4. I would honestly say... Fuck. I would say that. But I would also say that I like Toy Story 4 more than Missing Link. But I hope Missing Link wins anyway, because fuck Disney. And I like Leica.
Yeah, well, honestly, I think after everything Leica has done and all of their output, they kind of deserve it at this point.
Yeah. But anyway, Missing Link, what did you I haven't even heard your thoughts on Missing Link yet.
Missing Link, honestly, it's like my second least favorite Leica movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Box Trolls, but even then Box Trolls was pretty good.
Yeah.
Missing Link is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a very enjoyable film, a very funny movie. But it doesn't really have the emotional anchor or the complex tone of other Leica films.
Yeah.
You know, even something like Paranorman, that was like a horror comedy with like...
Even something. You don't say that about my favorite Leica film. You fuck. Even Paranorman. Hey,
Paranorman is like essentially neck and neck with Kubo for me for my favorite Leica film, so...
Yeah. Yeah. The thing about Missing Link is that, like, when your reputation is as high as Leica's and your output is so consistently amazing, an 8 out of 10 just doesn't seem as noteworthy, you know?
Yeah. What disappointed me about Missing Link is that it doesn't really have anything important to say like a lot of other Leica movies do.
Yeah.
It's mostly just, you know, find the Sasquatch. The Sasquatch wants to go back home. back home isn't what he thinks it is, so he's going to integrate into society. That's it. That's the movie.
Yeah, but the journey is fun.
The journey is fun. It's got a great cast of characters.
Yeah, I like Lionel. I like Sir Lionel Frost, voiced by Hugh Jackman.
Oh my god!
And his rapport with Mr. Link, voiced by Zach Galifianakis, which is a pair I never thought I'd see, but
it works really well. They have like great chemistry.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was Hugh Jackman at first because it's so like downplayed.
It is, but you know, there are those twangs you hear in his voice every now and then where it's like, is that Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, and it's like, I like Frost for his like, he's like this avid old age like not Victorian era, but like, or maybe it is, or you know, like it's like early 1900s, I believe.
Yeah.
British like explorer, like one of those make your man what's the word I'm looking for, self-made man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hunter, explorer, you know, and he's got a lot of personal failings, but like he's also really clever and funny, and like that's the thing, is like he's super clever, but like he knows he's the shit, so like you know, he's got some humiliating to do, you know.
Yeah,
that's not probably the right way to phrase that, but fuck it.
Yeah, whatever, go ahead.
Yeah.
Missing Link is probably my, it feels weird saying this, it's my least favorite, but it's still a great movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. It's a solid movie. I just, you know, and that's the thing, is like them winning a Golden Globe and potentially an Oscar for this, it feels like, I made this comparison, but it feels like when they gave Leonardo DiCaprio an Oscar for like a who cares role in a fucking mediocre film, just to get it over with, you know.
Yeah,
you know?
kind of.
You know, which is like, and that's no disrespect to Missing Link, because again, it's a solid film. You know, it's a solid adventure film. I like the rapport. It's a little slow. It doesn't have a huge energy to it, you know, and it does lack that kind of punch that other Leica films have. But it's very likable and enjoyable, and I like the characters and their growth, and you know, obviously the animation and the set design and the, you know, all that is as up to par as usual.
Yeah, but if there's one,
but it's also not as creative as past Leica films. But it also looks really good. That like ship segment where like the ship goes sideways and all that shit.
Oh, jeez, that is so creative.
I thought that looked fucking real to me for a while. I mean, it is real, but like it looks real, but it is real. But like, you know what I mean? It definitely has that kind of quality to it.
Missing Link is a stop motion movie, but like half the time it doesn't even look stop motion.
Yeah, it looks really crisp.
Like it's like really, really good CG looking stuff, but like it's all proper stop motion.
Yeah.
Like Leica is pretty much perfected stop motion as an art form.
Pretty much, man. I also really like they continue.
Not stunting Aardman animation over here, but you know, Leica.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also I love that they kept their tradition of showing like behind the scenes camera footage of the end credits, where like they show how they put everything together. So I could watch documentaries about how they make what they make. You know, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's really a bad. I know we're kind of like poo-pooing on Missing Link a little bit, but like it really is too bad it didn't do better at the box office. But like at the same time, I can see why. You know.
Yeah.
There's no amazing hook here, you know. It's not as stylistic as their previous films. It doesn't have, even just from the outset, I thought to myself, this is going to be a good film. I don't think it's going to be a great film. And then that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
You know, and I could see that from the beginning. And this is someone who loves Leica and knows what they're capable of. This is me. This is not I think a general audience's view would be even lower, you know. So I see why. I hope it doesn't affect them too badly. Hopefully they get some, you know, momentum from you know, a potential Oscar win, you know. But
yeah, like
which again I would not be upset about, even though I kind of enjoyed some of the other films on those nominations a little more. But
yeah,
you know.
That's really what it comes down to. Like, compared to other Leica films and even to the other two Getty movies we're talking about, Missing Link just kind of it falls a touch short.
Yeah.
Even though it is good.
I think it's a little bit more unique than Abominable, I would say. That's me, though.
I would kind of agree with you in that regard. Though I
Yeah.
do have some things that I want to talk about with Abominable that I do think were pretty well done in terms of character writing.
The other thing is that soon after watching Missing Link, I watched Isle of Dogs by Wes Anderson, another stop-motion animated film. That film is amazing. And I'm like, I can't believe they out-Leica Leica.
I need to watch Isle of Dogs.
Yeah, Isle of Dogs, really good.
My brother-in-law actually saw that, and he said it was fantastic, so,
Yeah, maybe if you see that, maybe we'll briefly mention it on the show.
Yeah. My brother-in-law's a big movie guy, so, he just rents a bunch of movies, and, like, in the middle of the night, he'll just sit up and watch whatever he rents from, like, the library or whatever.
Yep. Some weeks I'm the same.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Box Trolls, actually.
It's fine.
I feel like I have to for completionist's sake, but like
honestly, if Missing Link is an 8 out of 10, then Box Trolls is kind of a 6.5.
Yeah, so if you liked Box Trolls, you'll probably still really like Missing Link.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is better. But
Yeah, I know.
I also really like just randomly, I really like the set piece where they're trying to steal the safe from the Mexican house. It's so funny.
It's good.
It's just, I really like Mr. Link, and like he doesn't quite understand like speech very well, or like euphemism, sarcasm, or like figures of speech.
Yeah, he just takes everything like super literally, and that leads to a lot of really good humor.
Yeah, and then he starts like, and then later on, like he starts catching on, but he's like too suspicious of everything everyone says. so he starts interpreting like double meanings and sarcasm where there isn't any. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, like Missing Link is best at character-based humor.
Yeah,
I would probably say that's the movie's biggest strength is character-based humor.
Yeah,
which is
because like
it's typically a strength with Leica films anyway, but Missing Link is pretty good with that in particular.
Yeah, because I would say the overall journey is pretty standard, aside from the last act, which is a little unusual, but like nothing too groundbreaking. And then like Lionel Frost's arc is pretty beat for beat. It's enjoyable, but it's pretty predictable.
Yeah,
it's a very solid movie, but it's not like, I'm at half-mast.
It's a film where you know where it's going to lead, but the journey there is enjoyable enough.
Yeah, that's about all we can say about Missing Link.
And it sucks because I hate being so lukewarm on a Leica film.
Yeah, but again, it's good.
Yeah, for other studios, it might even be fantastic, but Leica kind of has this quality bar to set.
Yeah, it's kind of like how people thought about what am I thinking of? It's kind of like what people thought about like maybe Monsters University or something like that, where it's like I love Monsters University, but some people had that reaction where it's kind of like, it's good, but it's not like Pixar good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can get that,
yeah. But again, I really like Monsters University more than most people, so, take my opinion over everyone else's, as usual.
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard of it, so hey.
Yeah. Oh, no, I swear I ranted about it in Western Animation when I was doing that.
Yeah, you might have.
The chat room. Yeah, but you got a shitty memory, so what can you do?
It was probably a long ass time ago.
It was a while. It was probably like 8 months ago, something like that. Man, time just falls away. We're all gonna die one day. It's crazy.
Let's talk about Abominable.
Yeah, let's talk about another fucking entertainment product that'll tide us over until the void takes us.
Yeah. So, real quick, I want to kind of address an elephant in the room. Just so we can get this out of the way and then talk about the actual movie.
Yeah.
Yes, Abominable does have a background prop, which includes the 9-dash line that is often utilized in Chinese maps to denote ownership of a part of the Chinese Sea, which is a sore spot for a lot of people in Southeast Asia. Yes, I understand it is probably not a good thing that it is there. It's unfortunate that it's there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a 3-second. At the same time, it's also just kind of like a quick thing that's there for all of 3 seconds and really hard to miss. Really easy to miss. It's really easy to miss.
I didn't even know until I looked at the trivia section of TV tropes.
But also at the same time, I'm not going to say like the people who are upset about this don't deserve to be upset because I'm not a part of Southeast Asian culture.
Yeah.
And
also,
I don't really understand the importance of this.
Yeah.
So
also, here's another tidbit. If it wasn't there, it would have been there in the Chinese release. You know it.
Yeah. Probably would have
been. I can tell you why it's there. It's because of China. And if it wasn't, they would have edited it in anyway. So you can't win. As usual in our dystopian hellhole of a planet, you can't beat China.
I prefer to think that it was a situation where one of the Chinese artists that was working on this movie, because it is a Chinese co-production.
That's true.
One of the Chinese artists simply put it there because that's what they were familiar with in terms of maps.
Yeah.
And nobody on the production team, they were probably in a little bit of a bubble.
Yeah.
Not really talking, not really kind of thinking, could you look at this one single background element and tell me if it's problematic for most people in Southeast Asia? Like, no one's going to think about that.
Yeah.
And it just happened to, make a lot of people in Southeast Asia upset. It's probably something very, what's the word I'm looking for? Innocuous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to put much. I'm not going to put I'm not going to assume maliciousness over a 3-second background prop.
It's true. It's true. That's entirely possible. Some people are used to whatever maps they're used to seeing. Some people don't know this, but in Japan, their maps have Japan in the center. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Damn.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
No, yeah, in Japan, Japan is in the center of their maps. A lot of their native maps.
The center of the world.
The center of the world. I'm shocked you didn't know that. Are you even a weeb?
Do you even weeb?
Does Kevin even weeb? The answer cometh.
The answer may surprise you.
Yeah. But taking that and putting it aside, Abominable is a DreamWorks film in combination with some fucking Chinese studio that's weirdly not the Chinese branch they opened for Kung Fu Panda 3 and then closed.
Actually, it is the branch that they opened for Kung Fu Panda 3.
Oh, did they just rename it?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, that makes more sense. Because I thought they literally just closed it and teamed up with someone else. I'm like, why?
No.
Yeah. For those who don't know, they did that because Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2 were so fucking good, the Chinese government held meetings like, why can't we make animated films this good? And then the DreamWorks was like, maybe you can. And then they did, And
it was good.
So this is the most recent one, came out just last September, just recently came out on Blu-ray. It's how I saw it.
That's how I saw it.
I mean, you saw it. We're not gonna talk about how you saw it here.
Oh no, I saw it on Blu-ray.
Oh right. Oh yeah, that's right. I couldn't find a decent stream of this one. Right. I forgot.
Yeah, what's $2 at Redbox?
Yeah, I can only find a shitty 360p stream in Russian or some bullshit.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
Yep. So Abominable. You tell me what you think about it first.
Abominable, I really like it. It's my second favorite of these movies.
Yeah.
Gosh. There are various elements that I do like about it in terms of how it handles certain characters, namely the villains, and also the I like how it handles the villains, and I really like how it handles the relationship between Yi and Jin.
Yeah.
And of course, Everest is fucking adorable.
Yeah.
This movie is also just like really visually impressive.
Yeah, it's very cute.
It's a really gorgeous looking movie at points. What do you think of it?
I really like it. I think that it's probably the most formulaic of these films.
Probably.
It does do some things to set itself apart. Like you said, I really like the subversion with the Mr. Was it Mr. Burns?
No, it was Mr. Oh, jeez, I know his fucking name. Jeez,
Mr. Burnish.
Mr. Burnish, yeah, Mr. Burnish.
Yeah. Not Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns. just put Mr. Burns from The Simpsons in here.
Yeah, I really like how they did Mr. Burnish's character because, he's actually done in a slightly more realistic manner than a lot of other movies that tackle this sort of character. He's kind of framed as a villain at the beginning of the movie. And part of this is because he's senile. We actually find out over the course of the movie he's senile, and he remembers him actually, coming across a Yeti in the wild and believing it was going to attack him. And, he has this entire thing of, I have to capture a Yeti, dead or alive, so that people will, take me seriously.
Yeah.
In the scientific community. But we later find out that the entire thing about him wanting to capture it, dead or alive, is partially spurred on by his assistant, who's the real villain of this movie.
Yeah.
Who also wants the Yeti for her own scientific purposes, but like far more maliciously.
Yeah, and she has kind of like she pretends to want to protect and preserve it initially, but then later she's like a mercenary who's trying to sell him to the highest, trying to sell the Yeti to the highest bidder. Yeah, I like Mr. Burnish. I feel like he's almost like a deconstruction of like Charles Muntz from Up in a way.
A little bit, yeah. I got a little bit of that, Charles Muntz feel to him.
Yeah.
And,
they make you feel like it's gonna be. They make it feel like it's gonna be a Charles Muntz situation, and then it turns out that he's actually he's actually much nicer than he lets on, and also
like once it fully
kind of rediscovers himself in a way.
Yeah, he rediscovers his love of nature, his love of adventuring, discovery. And when he realizes that the reason the Yeti attacked him was because it was protecting its young, the reason that's why the Yeti attacked was because it was defending its loved ones. Mr. Burnish, does a complete heel face turn, and actively helps the main characters to get Everest back to his home.
Yeah,
which. Bravo on that character development on that one. I really like Mr. Burnish.
Yeah.
And the entire thing comes full circle when, at the end of the movie, Mr. Burnish sends Yi and her friends a box full of stuff, basically saying, you're such good adventurers, you should keep doing this, spurring them on.
Yeah.
To, have the fulfilling life that he had.
Yeah, basically sends them like hiking gear and shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of Yi and friends, let's talk about our daring trio here of Yi, Jin, and Peng.
Peng, yeah. I fucking love Yi's character design.
Yeah, it's great.
I love, like, I don't know, like, she's just got this really, really good character design.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about it. Just, like, something about her is really, really pleasing.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, her deal at the beginning of the movie is that she keeps very busy with odd jobs because she misses her father that passed away, which we learn over the course of the film. It's not told to us immediately. The beginning is actually a little weird for me because, like, her family is constantly getting on her mother and her grandmother are constantly getting on her for never being home and being too busy, and like that was so weird to me because that is not my life at all, where my family is constantly trying to get me to go outside and do things.
I guess it's one of those, like, Asian family situations.
Yeah, it might be like a cultural thing.
Like the family unit is considered, you know.
Because in the beginning I was like, "What the fuck are you complaining about? She a working girl, you know. She out there making them dollars, you know." It's like, what are you complaining about?
Or Chinese yuan, as it may be.
You know, something like that. In this unnamed city that looks like Hong Kong, but it's probably Shanghai. I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be like heavily based on Shanghai.
It looks so much like Hong Kong to me, though. Yeah. There's some shots that look like they came out of fucking Watch Dogs.
Yeah, there's like little bits of Hong Kong sprinkled in there too. Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't say that though.
It's just the China city.
Yeah, it's really distracting how they just keep calling it the city. I'm just like, I know you want to say Hong Kong, and I know you can't say Hong Kong, but just fucking say something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jin is this like preppy fucking, you know, Instagram star or whatever.
Something I like about him and Yi's character dynamic is they don't actually hate each other.
Yeah.
They actually get along fairly well to a degree. Like, it's kind of a, you know, it's like a brother and sister butting heads, and I really like that dynamic between them.
Yeah, apparently they like grew up in the same apartment complex or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Peng is like actually his cousin. But they have this rapport, I guess. You know, like Southeast Asian like apartment complexes are basically like neighborhoods in themselves. So, you know, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like their dynamic, but like they don't hate each other, but like at the beginning of the film they're not there's a distance there because like she's keeping herself busy and he's being a douche. You know.
But you know, they kind of like poke fun at each other in that regard, and
yeah, how much are those shoes or whatever, you know. You know, and like, but what I like about Jin is that like even near the beginning there's enough like signs of humility there where like there's the potential for growth is like obvious from the start. He's not like he's stuck up, but he's not like annoyingly so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there's a humanity to him and a sense that, you know, he does look after Peng. He does genuinely care for Peng's well-being. And the only reason he goes with Yi in the first place is because he needs to look after Peng because, you know, who else is going to?
Yeah. And Peng, you know, Peng's like, you know, fun kid appeal, likes basketball and soda and, you know, all the shit the kids are into.
Yo, what?
You know, liquid and sport. You know?
Hey, I too also like liquid. I am like Peng.
Yeah. I also like soda. Basketball, I mean, it's one of my more interested sport balls.
I like Space Jam.
Yeah, but Peng likes Space Jam. That might be the title. I bet Peng likes Space Jam. I'll write that down.
Do it.
Yep.
But yeah, another thing that I really like, specifically in regards to Yi and Jin, is the scene in the after Yi's violin. The thing with Yi is that she has this. You can't really call it a MacGuffin, can you?
Yeah.
It's a token of her father. It's
Yeah.
the violin that her father used to play for her. She plays violin throughout the film, and
Yeah.
her violin becomes a major, a plot device, I guess, at various points in the movie. The violin essentially changes and evolves as she develops throughout the film, as she learns to, kind of move beyond her grief.
Yeah.
And, appreciate the family and the friends that she actually does have.
Yeah.
Which, how that was done was beautiful. But one thing that I really like is the scene after the violin breaks at one point in the movie. And she runs off into the forest, and, Jin runs after her. And they have this heart-to-heart moment. And it is done in a surprisingly very realistic manner.
Yeah.
Mostly in that he is like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't even cried yet in regards to, my father's death.
Yeah.
I miss him. I don't know why I'm so distant from... I don't know why I keep so busy. Like, basically the entire scene is just the two of them fairly maturely talking out their differences between the two of them.
Yeah.
And kind of working past their individual character hangups.
Yeah.
And it's just a really wonderfully written moment of character introspection between the two of them.
Yeah.
That honestly, I think is done with more nuance than a lot of animated movies tend to have now in terms of Western animation.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that scene just because of how subdued it was. In terms of how I handled that. They kept the big emotional moment for a more appropriate time later.
Yeah.
So that they didn't just rush through the entire character arc in one scene.
Yeah.
Which I do like. They took their time on that one.
Right.
But yeah, I really like that scene for that reason. It just felt more real than I think a lot of other Western cartoons tend to let their scenes be.
Yeah. And then there's the man, the myth, legend himself, the Yeti, Everest. I really like the opening of this film with the first-person escape sequence.
Oh my god, that was cool.
Yeah, and then like the car lights flashing, and like you feel the confusion of this thing as it's wandering through the city, until it gets to that rooftop. And Everest doesn't have a huge character in the film. It doesn't speak. It doesn't it conveys through its animation and whatnot, but it really just exists to facilitate the journeys of the other characters, and be a centerpiece of the movie. And to be fair, his powers of nature terror shifting and stuff like that create some awesome set pieces, like the flower ocean and the stuff in the snow and whatnot,
and the koi fish clouds at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that was cool. At first I thought his powers were weather based, but then he starts making clouds that fly you places, and I'm like, I guess he can just do whatever. But I mean, he's a metaphor for something. I'm just not sure what yet.
Yeah.
And he's got an enjoyable adorable friendship with Pang and the others and whatnot, but again, just kind of facilitates the journey. He's not a character in himself like Mr. Link was, for example.
Yeah.
Which I think is a strength in Missing Link's favor.
Mr. Link is in his own right a really great character, whereas Everest is more so just kind of the cute pet that does the plot.
Yeah, he feels like discount Toothless.
A little bit. You mentioned film parallels, and funny enough, when I was watching the movie the first time, I saw Yi being sad that her father died, and having a connection with music to her father, or whatever the fuck. Meeting up with a big cuddly cutesy mascot character who helps her through her grief. And I was like, this is just the plot of Bumblebee. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then the movie actually, but then the plot got kicked into high gear about 15 minutes in, and I'm like, oh, okay, Bumblebee over. What?
Yeah. And this is actually
I was like deathly scared that I was basically watching CG DreamWorks Bumblebee.
Yeah. This movie is actually pretty short too. Like, without the credits, it's like less than 90 minutes.
Yeah. It's a very brisk movie.
Yeah, it's a brisk road trip through China, but an enjoyable film. I'm not as gung ho about it, just because like it is kind of formulaic, and like it is kind of a facilitation of character arcs that I think are very well done, but not like groundbreaking or anything. Yeah. It doesn't have the unique animation and style, or unique comedic presence and timing of Missing Link, and it doesn't have the strong thematic exploration and really, really tight storytelling of Smallfoot. But it is a bit more whimsical, and it's got its own unique energy to it. It's a good film. I wouldn't put it in like my top 5 DreamWorks films or whatever, but like,
nah, like it's pretty good in terms of DreamWorks movies. It's not like fucking Over the Hedge.
I love Over the Hedge.
I'm joking. I love Over the Hedge. I love Over the Hedge too, but a lot of people don't. I'm just using it as an example so other people who are fucking stupid can understand.
Well, pick a bad DreamWorks. Pick
okay,
Home.
Fine. Shark Tale.
Don't go. Okay, maybe not Shark Tale.
Look, dude, you said bad DreamWorks movie. Okay, Shrek the Third.
I meant like Home bad, not Shark Tale bad.
Okay, Shrek the Third. How about that?
Not that. That's almost as bad as Shark Tale.
Yeah, Home is just like forgettable.
Yeah. Watch Abominable. It's better than Home.
That's not saying a lot.
Okay. How do I describe this? It's better than Home, but not as good as Shrek 4.
It's a solid Monsters versus Aliens.
I mean, some people really hate Monsters versus Aliens. I haven't seen that for a long time.
Stop ruining this for me.
Remember when Jello gave Monsters vs. Aliens a 0?
I do, and I'm like, I don't like it either, but it's not a 0.
I haven't seen it since like before it came out. I remember like some parts of it I really liked. Like I like the alien, and I like when he tries to give his backstory and he keeps getting interrupted by his cloning. But it's like this nonsensical bit where it's like no child should have to go through. And that's what I learned, not to trust my mother anymore. It's like, that's when my planet was destroyed. I'm so sorry about your planet. Oh, don't be. I'm the one who destroyed it. Like, that shit works. But, like, some of the movie is pretty bad.
But yeah, Abominable is a solid movie. Honestly, I think I like it more than you.
Yeah.
Maybe just a bit. Like, in terms of these 3 movies, it's my second favorite, but, like, I still really like Missing Link. I think it's just because, I prefer the bigger focus on whimsy and emotion that Abominable has, compared to like the mostly quirky, humorous adventure story that Missing Link is. And I think also it's just the fact that Missing Link is a substandard Leica film.
Missing Link for me gets artsy points,
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, it gets art points. Abominable it's too corporate, you know what I mean?
I can understand that, yeah.
It's too clean. It doesn't speak to me in the way fine art should speak to me.
I can understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are just little things about characterization and writing that, I really, really liked in Abominable, so...
I think Abominable is a more easily digestible package. You know, like if it was on, I would sit down and watch it again. You know, if Missing Link was on, I might be like, well, I gotta be in the mood for that. You know, but like, because it's one of those, I gotta be in the mood for those films. When I am in the mood for one of those films, I can appreciate it on a deeper level. You know.
Yeah.
Because I am a very serious art critique. And I'll give this film a 6 out of 10. It's closer to a 7 than a 5. You know?
But yeah, I think we can both agree that Smallfoot's the best of the three, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Turns out when you let Common rap, you get a great movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's really just the strong central theme that takes Smallfoot to the top here. You know,
it really is, and
you know, it's a very smartly written film, and it's got, in all the other ways, it's a complete package. It does what the other two films do just as well, but then it adds this extra oomph, you know, that makes it a very memorable film, you know, which, you know, is great. You know,
it's just one of those things where it's like, I never thought I would be comparing 3 non-Disney movies, one of them being a Leica film, and the Leica film is the one that I like the least. What the fuck?
It's weird. It's a weird series of happenings. But you know, it's just a weird coincidence that all 3 of these films came out in the same 1 year span. You know, like I've theorized before that there is a fair bit of, like, how do I say this, like, espionage going on in these studios a little bit.
Yeah.
Where, like, they're kind of taking ideas from each other in a way. They got, like, they're like, you know, spies in the midst and whatever, you know, corporate interminglings and shit like that. And I don't think it's, like, actively malicious or anything. I think it's just like, you know, people are like, hey, Yeti. They're doing a Yeti film, and they're like, oh, yeah, I got an idea for a Yeti film. And then someone was like, well, we got an idea for a Yeti film. And it's like, we end up with this situation, and then we have a podcast. You know, it's like, it's crazy.
But it does say a lot about, like, the modern animation industry that we somehow got 3 movies of very similar subject matter that are all vastly unique and also good.
Yeah, and you know, it was definitely an interesting experiment to do an episode like this.
Absolutely.
We talk about, like, these wildly different movies that just have this one central idea that they share for whatever fucking reason.
But you know what? It resulted in, honestly, a really fascinating podcast subject. So, you know, props, I guess.
Yeah, and that's gonna be our second segment, talking about these films. What did you think about these Yeti movies? Comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon and donate to our non-existent Patreon. And also suck our fucking chodes. Just suck our chodes and buy our merchandise and fucking plaster our names on the back of your minivan, Sarah. I know you're listening. You know. Do all that shit. And we will see you specifically, you know who you are, on the third segment. Keep it real on the BAKA GAIJIN Show. back to the BAKA GAIJIN show. Just you and the boys chilling. You know how it is. This final segment, we're gonna fucking chill the fuck out and talk about some of our favorite YouTubers.
Yay, I forgot to make a list. I'm a dumb shit.
Well, if you can't think of them, are they really your favorites?
This is very true.
Very true.
Alright, so, yeah, me and Zeke, we watch a lot of YouTube.
A lot of YouTube.
Like, I can just go through my history and see, like, 100 videos I watched just today.
Yeah, we're addicts.
Please, someone help us.
Yep. I remember way back in 2006, Loconut told me YouTube is TV for people with ADHD. And I'm like, that's nonsense. And now I'm like, God damn, the prophet Loconut predicted
The prophecy.
all of this. Yep. The prophecy. So I've got a ton of channels I want to pimp. A lot of them are gaming, some of them are animation, some of them are anime, some of them are music, movies, D&D, JoJo, Overwatch, miscellaneous, and some of them are what I like to call the dark YouTubers.
Oh.
So since I have a huge list here, why don't I talk about these, and if you have familiarity with them, you can chime in as well.
Yeah.
All right. So first boy I want to pimp is TGBS, or the Gaming Brit Show. My boy Charlie.
Yeah.
My boy Charlie. You may know him from the How Ratchet 2016 Lost Its Edge video, which I think is his most popular upload.
It's a really good video.
Yeah,
Which,
but he has a ton of great videos.
It's a good video, like, because, like, I'm not a fan of Ratchet and Clank, and it made me understand why fans of Ratchet and Clank are not very hot on the movie.
Yeah. It's not even a review of the movie.
It's a review of the game, which is adapting the movie.
Yeah.
Which by extension means it's a review of the movie.
Yeah. But he has a lot of other videos on Devil May Cry, some Silent Hill stuff, Ninja Gaiden, DMC, Gamey Boy games, Jak and Daxter, retrospectives, and then like more recently he's been diving into like odd things, like Glass Rose on the PS2, or the last localized Conan game, Detective Conan.
Yeah, wait. Detective Conan got games localized?
Yeah, on the Wii. There's a localized Conan game on the Wii.
You're fucking with what?
Yeah, he made a video about it.
I feel like I should know this. What?
Yeah, you should check out the video.
Oh my god, dude. I need to. Oh my god, I'm fascinated.
Yeah, or like he talks about like Suda 51 games, or like the fucking obscure like Blood Plus game Suda did.
Very underrated Suda 51 game, by the way, is Liberation Maiden.
Oh, he hasn't talked about that, but it sounds like something he would.
It's good.
Very recently, he talked about Nocturne, not SMT Nocturne. That's too mainstream for TGBS. He's talking about an old 90s PC horror game, Nocturne, which was made by the Blood Rain people. And then he made a video about the Blair Witch licensed PC game they made, where they included their original characters from Nocturne in the Blair Witch universe. And it's like super, what a ballsy, absolute, Chad move to do that and a licensed property. If you're wondering why I went silent, Kevin muted for a second. Just so it's not abrupt for the audience. He didn't cut out.
No, it's fine.
But TGBS has like a cadence and a suaveness to him. He's a gamer boy with integrity, like us. Really respect the man.
More so him than me.
Yeah. Next boy I want to pimp is Mandalore Gaming. He's got a great voice. I love Mandalore Gaming. He's got well edited, paced videos. He talks mostly about like obscure older PC titles, sometimes like indie PC titles, sometimes like old Warhammer games or old RTS games, old horror games, old shooters. And there's so many like interesting older PC games that I learned about from Mandalore, strategy games, all the like. Everything he covers is interesting, and he has a very interesting way of analyzing these things. And he's definitely one of the YouTubers, along with TGBS and a few others, where like they upload, I click, and I've binged their entire backlogs, and I love them so much. I love Mandalore. Mandalore is also, he's also on the Please Stop Talking podcast that I listen to, which includes Shammy and Bren Daniel and some other people. Shammy, by the way, is also on the list. Shammy has amazing videos. He's probably one of the best actual, like, in terms of making videos. He has like the highest quality videos on this list, but he also uploads the least frequently. Like, he hasn't uploaded in like a year. But when he does, when he crawls out of his cave and blesses us with a fucking hilarious, amazingly edited, deeply analytical video on something, Shammy is so fucking funny. You might know him. He's the guy with like the owl. He uses like stock photos of owls as if you ever see a thumbnail with like a big stock photo of an owl in it, that's his thing.
Right.
Yeah. He's really fucking funny. I recently discovered Seth, which a lot of people compare to Mandalore, not because they're similar, not because they make similar content, mind you. Seth has a way more like energy and like random humor delivered in this like completely serious deadpan voice.
Yeah.
And super like bombastic editing. But he's so funny. But because they cover they usually have a habit of randomly covering the same games in the same week. So people are like, "Wow, Mandalore! I didn't know. I can't believe Seth uploaded twice this week," or some shit. But yeah, Seth is really funny. He covers similar things to Mandalore, like strategy games, or old CRPGs like Arcanum or Might and Magic, or stuff like that. Stuff I know a little bit about, but not like a whole lot about in a lot of cases. That I love learning about this kind of stuff. 90s PC CRPG culture. I really love learning about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Super Butter Buns, I really like.
What a name.
Yeah. She's great. She talks about a lot of things. Sometimes platformers, sometimes JRPGs. She's got like guides to get into series and like just retrospectives on games like Nocturne or Kingdom Hearts 2 or something. Like, yeah. And she's really funny, and she's super hyper and really quick with the quips and whatnot. I like Super Butter Buns. Shout out to B-Mask. B-Mask, he did the 3-part massive Sly Cooper retrospective series, along with a few other videos. Like, he did that like Scooby-Doo retrospective I really like. But I really like B-Mask. He doesn't do a whole lot, but when he does, he hits. Another female YouTuber I really like is the Sphere Hunter. She talks about like old Capcom stuff, like Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, DMC, stuff like that. Other things, but like that's kind of what I remember her for. And she has a really chill voice. Her videos have like an atmosphere to them. It's like you feel like you're alone in like your bedroom in your 90s with the CRT, and it's like it's dark and you're playing a PS1 game or something and you're listening to her. It's a really nice atmosphere. I think this guy, Neryl.
Neryl?
Yeah, Neryl.
Spell it.
He made the Last Jedi video I showed you.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Oh, yeah, the video that made me slightly reconsider my thoughts on The Last Jedi.
Yeah, he also made that Majora's Mask video everyone got recommended for like a month.
The one where it's like the moon, but it has the fucking ugly ass Return of the Jedi lip monster.
Yeah. But he's got a lot of great videos. He's got some great Zelda videos. He's got one on Resident Evil 6, which is really good. He's got a review of all the Secret of Mana games in that series, including the horrible remake, which I didn't even know was horrible until he explained how horrible it was. He's got a great sense of humor. He's, I've gone through his entire back catalog, which is not a lot. He hasn't done a whole lot, but again, when he makes a video, I click.
Yeah, like I really do want to single out that Last Jedi video because for like 2 straight years or something, both me and Zeke were like, everything about this movie was terrible from conception to design and whatever. But at the very least, now we're like, well, the ideas were good.
Yeah. I see why people like the film, even though I don't think they should.
Yeah. I get why. I just don't get why.
Yeah. If you want a chance to talk, you want to talk about Scott? I know you want to talk about Scott.
Oh, man. Scott the Woz is... this motherfucker has been uploading pretty much consistently for like 2 years, like 1 video a week, and every now and then he'll be like, hey, I missed a video fucking 4 months back, have a second video this week. Like, dude, no one cared, like no one even noticed. Wait, what?
Yeah. Scott's really cool. He's a cool dude. Hope he's not a sex criminal.
I like Scott's output because, like, he's kind of this, video game skit YouTuber.
Yeah.
But, like, his skits are actually funny and have actual jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, he does a really good job of balancing humor and jokes with actual analytical criticism, and in some cases, such as his year in review, or Nintendo Switch, however many years in videos, stuff like predictions and retrospectives and shit. He's actually a very informative YouTuber, but what makes him great is that he has a very consistent upload schedule with very consistent quality. Like, and
let me tell you what Scott the Woz is to me.
Okay.
Scott the Woz is...
Sorry, I got a little distracted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Scott the Woz is... when the heyday of AVGN, like the prime of AVGN, when everyone thought they could do what he does and put their own spin on it, and many of them couldn't. I feel like Scott the Woz is the guy who finally did.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the guy who took that kind of quasi-informative format. Not exactly the same, like it's way more informative. It's not quite... He's not reacting to games a lot of the time, aside from posthumous. He doesn't do like the in the moment thing, He does it posthumously, but he puts so much of his own humor and his own spin into this kind of thing that he feels like the first person to really recapture that kind of video.
Yeah, and like he does, but at the same time, he kind of just does his own thing at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think he's not really trying to copy any kind of specific format. He's just kind of doing whatever he thinks is interesting or amusing to him. And that just kind of translates to good content.
Yeah. And I had something else to say, but I forgot.
It is funny you mentioned AVGN, considering that he James Rolfe actually does narrate the opening to his most recent Christmas video.
Yeah, he also showed up in James and Mike Monday once for stuff.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
Yeah. So yeah, gotta give a shout out to Scott because we are in the cult of Scott, obviously.
The prophecy.
The prophecy. Next 3 I want to mention. These are the long boys. These are the guys that make the super long form video essays where they're super in depth, and they don't have like a super consistent schedule, and they do what they want. They're all completely like Patreon funded, where people are like, do this or that, and it's like, whatever. And the three I'm talking about is Joseph Anderson, Matthew Matosis, and Noah Caldwell Gervais, where all of them do, especially Noah, he does super long videos, like sometimes 3 to 4 5-hour videos.
Wow.
His most recent video was an entire retrospective on the Red Dead series, starting with Revolver and working to Red Dead Redemption 2, as well as that old game Gun, but also tying into like the history of the difficulty of translating like the Western into video game form, as well as like some brief touchings on the history of the Western genre and its long-standing criticisms and merits and stuff like that. And it's super fascinating and interesting, but it's definitely one of those videos you gotta commit time to. You gotta get a drink. It's gonna be a while, or break it up into chunks or whatever you gotta do, because it's one of those videos where they put like 18 timestamps in it and you need them,
Yeah.
And Joseph Anderson and Matthew Matosis much the same way, although sometimes they do shorter videos, but they're also pretty long, sometimes like half an hour to an hour and a half or something like that. But again, they're all have great voices. They're also informative and analytical, and like their videos are just events, when there's a new video from one of these guys, it's an event. Matthew Matosis in particular, he did a thing where he did like a deep in-depth analysis of all of the major 3D Mario games that I keep wanting you to watch and you won't.
Because I want to actually play Super Mario Odyssey.
That's not even the Odyssey one. I'm just talking about like the older ones he did as well. But the Odyssey one is life-changing. Like that really changed my tune on that game. And yeah, so they're all pretty great.
Sorry.
Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna skip ahead to the animation guys real quick, so we have something for you to talk about.
Okay, thank you.
Before I circle back around to some of these gaming guys. For animation, I got Rebel Taxi.
Yeah, Rebel Taxi's fun. He has this really laid-back, jokey kind of vibe to him. I like that he uses a lot of, kind of lo-fi hip-hop beats.
Yeah, and his channel's got a great like style and aesthetic. It reminds you of the early to mid 2000s, going to Blockbuster, renting a game for your OG Xbox.
Yeah.
Watching Cartoon Network on your CRT. And he has a lot of those bumpers from way back when.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. But one thing that any YouTuber that makes their catchphrase a reference to Sonic's at AM is pretty good in my book.
And I also appreciate that Rebel's fucking irreverent as fuck. Especially if you listen to his podcast, like he doesn't give a fuck about much of anything,
Yeah.
And I appreciate a web personality with such brutal honesty. It's what I aspire to be like. Next up is Saberspark. I think it was off the show, but we were talking about him for a sec.
Saberspark is interesting because like his content didn't really start out as, I don't know, like his early content's not as good as his current content in a lot of ways, because I feel he kept himself far too restrained early on and didn't really cut loose and like kind of let himself be a personality. A lot of his older content is very kind of straightforward and, I don't know, clinical to a degree. His more recent stuff is a lot better because you see more of him and his own personality coming through in his videos. Okay. Like you kind of get more of a feel for him.
I do kind of prefer his historical dives to his reaction videos. That's just me though, because I think there are just better people for reaction videos.
Yeah.
So like when he explains, what ruined Family Guy or what ruined, Illumination or whatever, and he goes deep into the history of it and does that research. Even if I know a lot of it, it's nice to have it all laid out and have his perspective on it and stuff. Or like,
Yeah.
especially the Don Bluth video where he not so subtly calls Don Bluth an idiot.
Yeah, like, I'm not even going to disagree, because even me being a massive fan of Don Bluth, I'm going to admit, Don Bluth's kind of a petty idiot.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I'm going to fight Disney and win, and you tried to fight Disney with a troll in Central Park. How did that go? To be fair, he got lucky for a good decade or so.
Yeah.
Like, he got Secret of Nim and American Tail and Land Before Time. Like, you know, it was got a pretty good batting average going on there. But then The Little Mermaid came out.
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything about that one. I mean, everyone kind of knows.
Next up is Cellspax. She mostly just does movie reviews of recent stuff that came out or stuff that she's watched recently. I find her, a good reviewer. I really wanted more women on this list, so whatever ones I watched that I could think of, I threw on here. But she's pretty good. She doesn't upload super consistently, but I do enjoy.
See, we have gender inclusivity here.
I try, okay? More women need to do gaming videos.
They do. You should make more gaming videos.
Yeah, women, get on that. I will, if you are good, I will watch you. That sounded weird. I will watch you.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, I can do better. I'm gonna watch you on my television screen.
Oh, God.
Through the sheets. Now I feel like I'm dissuading them.
Oh, jeez. Ah.
Anyway.
Oh, God. You have never made me feel more uncomfortable than you have.
Hey, man. It's jokes. And then, of course, Mr. Enter. We're familiar with Mr. Enter. A lot of people hate Mr. Enter. We don't hate Mr. Enter.
I think a lot of people hate Mr. Enter for what he used to be, rather than the kind of content that he creates now.
Yeah.
Because he's much better at being analytical and not resorting to hyperbole.
Yeah. He's currently doing his Nicarama series, which, some videos are really good, some videos are kind of like, okay, yeah, I get it. But, like, they're all interesting, and I'm looking forward to all these videos he's putting out right now. He's working really hard.
You'd be surprised. He actually doesn't hate, oh god, what was the show where it's like, he actually doesn't hate Fanboy and Chum Chum nearly as much as you think he would.
I mean, he hates Fanboy and Chum Chum, but not as much as you think he would. which really goes to show how far Nickelodeon fell.
Oh boy. When Fanboy and Chum Chum is the one where he has the least bad to say about it in terms of the bad shows, you know you got something going on here.
I don't always agree with Enter, but he's always got interesting points to make, and I always lend the man an ear.
Also, I really gotta give him major props for his video tackling his online harassment, because he just straight up called people out by name.
Mm-hmm.
And he called out a lot of like really big YouTubers, even friggin' Rebel Taxi he called out for some of his hypocrisy there. But the two are fine now.
Yeah.
And even Rebel Taxi kind of admitted, he was being a massive dick at that point and wasn't really kind of paying attention to what he was saying. But I gotta give a lot of props to Mr. Enter for, not really taking any of this bullshit anymore and just kind of tackling it head on. And not even trying to do the whole names have been, removed for the sake of safety or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you people are being assholes to me, and you guys are getting called out. Fuck you.
Yeah. Then we got Shriftfrillis Productions.
Oh man, Shriftfrillis is fun.
He's a fun guy. He's trying to push musical theater on us a little too much these days, but it's all in good fun. He makes great reviews. Really look forward to those.
Yeah.
Whatever he does, look forward to that. Tamatoa, baby.
Tamatoa.
This is kind of like a crossover with gaming, but I've written an animation because it is, and that's New Frame Plus. This used to be part of extra credits, but then Dan left extra credits to do this, where he talks about video game animations, the principles of animation, specific like elements of animation in, you know, what's good animation, bad animation, the ins and outs of animation in the industry, and he's really knowledgeable about this in particular, and really articulate about it, and has great clips to show what he's talking about and break things down. New Frame Plus is a great channel, and it does not have a lot of the extra credits bullshit we've associated with them over the years, mainly because that was mostly the writer over there, James Paltrow, responsible for a lot of that, and Dan just, you know, had to read it. But when Dan's on his own, he's a lot more tolerable.
Isn't extra credits that one video where it's like Call of Duty Nazis is like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they did that. They've done a lot of bad. Look, here's the thing. I like extra credits when they're okay, but they have some really cringy videos.
Yeah.
But Dan's not there anymore. He's also not speeding up his voice anymore, which is nice. I don't know why they made him do that. That's what I got for animation. And then I've actually got a couple of anime YouTubers. Not a lot. I don't really like a whole lot of AniTubers. But these ones are the tits.
Oh boy.
Alexander. Do you know Alexander?
No, I don't.
I think you do. I think I've linked you plenty of his videos. But he does. Yeah, he does a lot of in-depth character analysis for stuff like Hunter x Hunter and Death Note and fucking Code Geass, and like he does really in-depth character studies for one, and a lot of thematic breakdowns of various anime, and he's really good at it.
Oh, wasn't he the guy that did the breakdown of the Naomi Misora scene? Or am I thinking of a different guy?
Is that the wife of Ray Penber?
Yeah, it's the wife of Ray Penber.
Ray Penber. I think that might have been him, yeah. Yeah, but he's also done like a million of Hunter x Hunter videos. I keep linking, you know, analysis of Meruem or Shiapu for fucking Killua or whatever.
Yeah.
He's done some great videos in that. I think Hunter x Hunter is kind of his mainstay. He keeps returning to. He also did a great one on Crollo. He's a really good analyst.
Oh, don't you mean Quolro?
No, I mean Crollo. Replay Value is a great anime analyst. He does a lot of great. He is a really good analyst of like anime direction, like cinematography and like shot composition as it relates to the story being told and stuff. He's really good at that. He has his signature thing, and how I discovered him is he has a series where he has broken down and done an analysis and directorial and narrative dissection of every single episode of Hyoka. Some of them are like 5 to 10 minutes. A lot of them are like 10 to 15. Some of them go into like the hour range. But they're super thorough. I've never seen someone like completely dissect an entire anime series the way he did. And he's doing it again with Steins Gate, but he's going kind of slower at it and making a lot of one-off videos for whatever reason. Yeah, he's got some fantastic videos in various anime series, breaking down scenes he really loves, or you know why. And he's so positive. Is the other thing is that like most of his videos are explaining why something is great, why it works, you know, why it's a beautiful artistic expression. He doesn't do a whole lot of negative videos, which is really refreshing.
Yeah, that's something that's very common with a lot of YouTubers, is that they'll do a lot of negative or pessimistic videos, you know, just because that's what's, you know, popular with the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like a good YouTuber that, you know, focuses more so on positivity and passion.
Yeah.
Because you just don't get that a whole lot.
Yeah. And then this last guy, you've probably seen him a lot on Twitter lately, Ocean is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done a lot of videos on shonen stuff, My Hero Academia, JoJo's, Hunter x Hunter. He like breaks down power systems and character arcs, and he has a really long video on why breaking down all of Vento Audio, which is really good. I think I recommended that in the episode we did on that.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, he's pretty good. For movies, we have the Sardonicast crew, Ralph the Movie Maker, Your Movie Sucks, and I Hate Everything. These are also guys I tend to drop what I'm doing for when they upload.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah. Which is weird because I don't like listening to Sardonicast because I feel like these three guys bring out the worst in each other when they're together. Not that they're boring or make bad content, it's just that they get like so deeply cynical and, you know, riffy that like it gets a little bit too much for me. But like on their own, I think they're all pretty good. They all have really great videos breaking down good and bad films. And especially when they go all out and make really long, big reviews. Those are events to me. Like I cannot wait for YMS's Lion King 2019 review.
Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. I want to see him just rip that fucking thing apart.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is just such a cynical fucking movie.
Yeah. Speaking of cynical, my next channel is Cynical Reviews. He's the guy with the dog head and the suit.
Yeah.
He's also a really good YouTube reviewer, movie reviewer and stuff. He's also irreverent as fuck, which I like. He's great. And then actually I'm gonna go to the miscellaneous category for a second. I found someone else through him when he did a collaboration about why collaborations are terrible with Sergeant Ducky. Sergeant Ducky is a very brash, outspoken Irishman who makes videos bitching about retail problems and other general life bullshit with his green duck avatar, and he's entertaining. So I'll give
Sounds very relatable.
Give him a shot. Yeah, if you work in retail, you want to check out Sergeant Ducky's channel. He's got some
for you.
Yeah, he's got some videos that are going to be like communal therapy for you. I threw Twin Perfect in the movie category, even though they got a lot of gaming videos. Of course, they're obviously known for their Real Silent Hill experience, which is like one of the premier video series as far as I'm concerned. In terms of analysis and historical dissection and just explaining plots that are commonly... They're the guys that really got me going on the debunking common misconceptions and not taking fandom bullshit stuff. Like, if I never found their videos, I probably would have watched... I probably never would have written V3's Actual Flaws, my super blog.
Speaking of which, I do want to point out another YouTuber, Hammond Beat.
Hammond Beat, yeah.
Yeah, Hammond Beat is a JoJo YouTuber, specifically, specializes in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And he has a series called Debunking Araki Forgot, which is basically just going through every part of the manga, moment by moment, and tackling all the misconceptions and a lot of the, memes, quote unquote, that fans tend to have, where it's like Araki forgot this plot point, or Araki forgot this power, or this or that. Basically just debunking this entire idea that Araki is an incredibly forgetful writer, and that, it's a major flaw of his writing that he keeps forgetting important things. And he does a really good job explaining things. Like, even for part 5, where I was sure that he would, kind of... He fudges things a little bit with the Green Day fight.
Yeah.
But, generally speaking, he does a really good job, debunking a lot of really good... debunking a lot of really bad fan misconceptions of JoJo's fighting.
He's also got some great videos on, like, anime manga differences, and differences between, like, the OVA adaptations and the Diamond is Unbreakable movie. Those are really good videos.
Yeah.
He's a good JoJo tuber. While I'm on that subject, the only other name I have here is Shuckmeister. who does meme reviews, which are funny. But he also has some more analytical JoJo videos, which are really good.
We're not talking about behind the meme reviews. We're talking about actual meme reviews.
Yeah, exactly. And then one last one in the movie category is High Top Films. That guy, he did the Sam Raimi breakdown trilogy. Oh. And you might also know him as the guy who constantly bitches about DC's Titans. He talks about superhero films a lot, but he also talks about some other stuff. He's really articulate. He's really fucking passionate about filmmaking.
Hasn't he made like 5 different videos about DC's Titans?
And they're all great. He's really I don't know anyone as passionate about like superheroes and like filmmaking as he is, because he's an amateur filmmaker himself, and like he understands this kind of stuff. And like, man, what like even like, and a lot of times he's like super positive. He put out a video recently praising Arkham Origins. He's going through the Arkham series, like why they're a great video game adaptation of Batman. And he started with Origins and putting so much love into a game that a lot of people might overlook and stuff like that. And like the love he had for the Sam Raimi trilogy is the same love that I've always felt expressed to these amazing videos. And even when he's dissing on something like Titans or stuff he doesn't like, you know, he's always like, I want this I do this because I want this to be better. I want people to learn from what I'm saying. You know, I want everything. I don't go into things trying to hate them. I want these things to be good. And
yeah, that's something that I don't think gets done a lot in a lot of a lot of negative reviews on YouTube, is that a lot of them don't really frame it or come at it from the perspective of I want this to be good or I wish this could be better. Like, my main issue is a lot of them just come at it from, you know, the simple perspective of this is bad and here's why, and I'm gonna break it down for you, and you know, here we go, motherfucker. But like
if I have one criticism of Ralph, it's that's what he does a lot. You know, he will just like, especially with like DC films and stuff, which is entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but like when High Top talks about DC stuff, there's this genuine sense that he wants it to be great. You know, Whereas Ralph's just kind of like, this sucks. I knew it would suck. Here's why it sucks. You know. High Top is, you know, so fucking passionate.
It could be, which, you know, it sucks. Here's why it sucks. That can be fun, but it's just really refreshing to see someone coming at it from a place of passion and love. Yeah,
and I really, even if you disagree with them, the Spider-Man Far From Home broke my heart video. It broke my heart for how heartbroken he was, you know, because like, he just sounds so like done with this direction of Spider-Man, because he loves Spider-Man so much. All of his Spider-Man videos are just gold. Like, if you're gonna watch something, check out his Spider-Man videos, especially his Raimi trilogy retrospective. Amazing stuff. So passionate. Love High Top Films. Very quickly, some music people. One is Avery Alexander. He makes a lot of like stealth music, which I love. I use it in the background. I used some of it in the background of my Beyond Fiction audio drama teaser. And sometimes I put it in my videos, sometimes I don't. But he makes really good atmospheric, like stealth game music. I love it. Some cover people: Lian Lee, Jubyphonic, Jonathan Young. Kevin's muted himself.
I love, like Jonathan Young. Oh my god, I fucking love Jonathan Young. He's the only guy who did a cover of the Pokemon theme that included the singer of the original Pokemon theme, and it's like just as good as the original.
Yeah.
The Lian Lee cover is also like really fucking fantastic though.
Yeah.
But like Jonathan Young's metal cover is fucking amazing. Also, he has done almost every single JoJo opening, and it seems that he's kind of made it his mission to cover every JoJo opening.
Yeah.
He's amazing because, like, even with some of the best English anime opening cover people, I kind of feel like they occasionally have some duds. Every single cover that Jonathan does is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. He's also the only guy who did when he got to the Star Platinum part of OP2 of Stardust Crusaders, didn't crack his voice.
Oh my god. I also love his crazy, noisy, bizarre town video because it's basically just a 4-minute long shit post.
Yeah. Then also for music, Sideways is a really good musical analyst for like film music, game music. Well, not really game music. He hasn't really covered game music yet, for the most part. But like, you know, film and TV music. He has such a great understanding of music theory and, you know, leitmotif, and really analyzes things as they relate to the stories being told. Sideways is when Sideways makes a video, I fucking click it.
Yeah, I've seen a few Sideways videos, specifically the video on leitmotifs, and that was a really good video.
Yeah. Did you see the Tarzan one? I love the Tarzan one.
No, I haven't. I really need to.
Yeah, he explains musically why it's not on the same level as the other Disney Renaissance films, and it's so brilliant. I love the Tarzan video.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a weird one for me because I really like Tarzan.
Yeah, a lot of people like Tarzan, but like, there's something about it that's missing, and he'll tell you what.
Yeah.
And then my boy from way back when, Rucka Rucka Ali, his fucking raunchy, fucking irreverent parodies of pop songs. I discovered him with a fucking Hunter x Hunter parody with an insert of his "I'm a Korean" video way back in like 2008. And I've been listening to his parodies ever since, and still to this day. Quickly, the Overwatch YouTubers CarQ does a lot of tip videos, and then break the controller, or was it break the controller? No, blame the controller.
Yeah.
And Your Overwatch do a lot of news videos and analysis and speculation videos. Those are really, if you play Overwatch. If you follow Overwatch, these are some good channels to follow. Don't follow Stylosa. Please don't follow Stylosa.
One YouTube group, rather, I want to point out is Corridor Crew. They're like the only reaction channel I actually pay any level of attention to anymore.
Yeah.
And that's because they're actually very informative with the material that they cover. Corridor Crew is actually the more personal channel of Corridor Digital, which is a group of special effects and editing artists, like VFX artists, and they've been doing like visual effects videos on YouTube for like a decade or something now. And they've gotten really freaking good at it. They are great special effects artists, and they do amazing work. They are the only people, aside from Peter Jackson, to make a canon live-action Lord of the Rings movie. They actually have a short film of Lord of the Rings based around Lord of the Rings Online, and it is canon with the movies.
Wow.
And they're the only ones to have that distinction. But specifically, Corridor Crew has their VFX Artists React series. And for every single VFX scene that they do, both good and bad, they go over what happened. And in terms of the good ones, they go over why it works so well, what they did to make it work so well. And you can tell they know what they're doing. Like, they have visual examples of everything that they're talking about. Like, some of it is from like actual behind the scenes stuff from the movie. Some of it is recreated by them or based on their own videos where they did something very similar. Like, you can tell that their passion and their knowledge of the subject matter of, you know, film and visual effects does come into play very clearly, and they know what the fuck they're talking about. You know, it's, you know, they put it to, you know, practical use there. And for the bad ones, it's just, you know, they explain, in many cases, it's not so much as bad VFX artists. It's more so, you know, not enough prep, not really using the right materials, or the shot not really being lined up in the way that they need it, or whatever. It always comes from a place of understanding for the VFX artists or the VFX designers, and I really like their channel for that. Especially because I have an interest in graphics and VFX. And, Corridor Crew is a great channel for that.
Yeah. I follow some D&D YouTubers, even though I don't play D&D. I'd like to, but I don't. I follow RuneSmith and XP to level 3. I throw them together because they appear in each other's videos constantly. They live really close by each other. Or I think they might actually live with each other. I don't even know anymore. Fuck it. I love them because they got a very old school YouTube feel with their skits and their kind of comedy. And they never do a serious ad. Like, they do ads, but they don't... They do ads for like stuff related to D&D, like dice sets and World Anvil and shit like that. Yeah. But like, they're always very jokey about it and very self-referential about it.
Yeah.
And they make some great content explaining classes and races and settings and just all kinds of stuff, and do some skits based on D&D experiences and stuff like that, and stories and just general thought blogs and stuff. And the other D&D YouTuber I follow is Puffin Forest, who does like animatics of a lot of D&D stories and analysis things he's done. He's an interesting guy. And then we get to what I call the dark YouTubers.
Okay. Is this going to take much longer?
This is the last section I have before miscellaneous.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to very rapid fire go through these.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So first is the Volgan, who does dramatic SCP file readings, who I've fallen in love with lately. I explained like an episode or two ago, I've gotten really into SCP Foundation lately.
Yeah.
And he does great, amazing production audio readings, dramatized readings of SCP files with like, he like makes his own models of like creatures and objects in like Blender and stuff. And he's got like his own setup and format, and he's really engaging.
Every now and then I roll an SCP file or monster or character or whatever on the Gacha game, and I'm like, wow, Zeke might know what this is.
Yeah. Another channel I want to talk about is Nightmind. Nightmind, he is a very interesting channel. He goes by the persona Nick Nocturne. He has an incredibly smooth voice. He talks right into the camera. It's ASMR shit, really. But like, he explores the history of like augmented reality games and like old like internet phenomena and like horror YouTube series that used to exist. And like explains and does theory videos and like old ARGs and old horror web series. And he'll talk about like new kind of online mystery. He almost like plays internet detective, where like a new thing will come out where nobody knows what it is, and he'll like gather evidence and break it down. And he is so engaging to watch. And he also does some SCP stuff every now and again. He has quite the... His videos are an experience. And then the last one I have for Dark is Deadwing Dork. And this guy is kind of a reaction channel, but he reacts to like the most fucked up shit on the internet, or like the most odd or weird groups of people, like the Ice Chewer forum, or like Pamper Chew, or shit like that.
What the fucking shit?
Yeah, like people who wear adult diapers, or he'll make like disgusting recipes posted on 4chan, or like go through old 4chan creepypasta stories and stuff like that. I really like him because like he provides a very comical dive into like the worst of the internet.
Yeesh.
And it's really amusing to go through. I got introduced to him because my friends, when I go to my friend's place, they have like videos playing in the background constantly, like all day for some reason.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is like political pundits, or like people like the Amazing Atheist or something that are like constantly like screaming about something or other.
Of course.
But then there's this guy that is breaking down this genuinely hilarious like depravity of humanity. You know, he's got an amazing video I think you should check out on the Sonic Fan Game Wiki.
Oh fuck! I've been on the Sonic Fan Game Wiki. I wish I never got on the Sonic Fan Game Wiki.
Where he's breaking down all these fucking games that don't exist. And it's like how edgy and fucking congratulatory they are. And yeah, his channel is, if you want to see some disturbing sometimes, but always very interesting takes on the worst of the internet, Deadwing Dork is your man. And then in the miscellaneous category, I want to give a shout out to, you've probably seen him on Twitter a lot, David Rossi. He's an illustrator, and he does voiceover illustration videos of his days in art school. And he's got a lot of great stories, and like he builds like a saga of his journey, his college days, which is really engaging to follow and gets really emotional at times. And he's also really funny. And he does great art. Austin McConnell, I really like Austin McConnell. He talks about whatever he wants, but always makes it interesting. You know, he'll talk about, you know, fixing the postal service, or, you know, the time he opened his voicemail to his fan base, or the fucking the watermelon war, or whatever. You know,
opening your voice box, like your inbox, like your voicemail to your fan base. That has got to be a mistake.
Actually, it was rather wholesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's a very interesting YouTuber and amateur filmmaker, and he's really interesting. Bren Daniel, I've just discovered through the Please Stop Talking podcast. He does some SCP readings, but he also does whatever he wants. He'll do shit like ranking all of the Mountain Dew flavors, or like talk about the herbs on GameCube or something. I don't even know what his channel is about, but he's got a great voice. He DMs for the Please Stop Talking D&D podcast that just started, Folk and Dagger, which is really fucking entertaining because those guys are funny. That has Shammy and Mandalore on it as well. Brutal Moose. Nobody on YouTube edits better than Brutal Moose. He is the king of just amusing weird edits. And again, he does what he wants. Like I think he got big doing like Lunchables, like food reviews, but now he'll do stuff like review old like children's TV shows, or like
he went to the Goodwill and just bought a bunch of VHS tapes.
Yeah, he's really funny. He's really his videos are very unique and have a great style and energy to them. I really love, he did a video chronicling his road trip when he moved from Texas back to Seattle, and I really liked the personal story of just going on this road trip. I felt like I went on a road trip after seeing that video. You know, like I was there with him, and that was a great thing.
Well, you know, I hate to bring it back to Transformers again.
Go ahead.
I love it. There's one Transformers YouTuber I really want to point out called Chris.
Is it the guy that made the Coke ad?
No. We don't talk about the guy that makes the Coke ad.
Okay, go on.
Oh my god, that poor bastard. That must be so embarrassing.
When I think of Transformer YouTuber, I think of the Coke ad guy. I'm sorry.
No, this guy is called Chris McFeely, and he has this currently 88-part and ongoing series on Transformers lore called Transformers The Basics.
Oh.
And he runs down the complete history of different characters, incarnations, concepts such as the Matrix of Leadership, the 13 Primes, Primus, Unicron.
Oh.
And his videos are just so endlessly fascinating. And it really kind of shows that Transformers as a whole, like, the lore goes way deeper than you might expect it to for a franchise like Transformers.
Yeah. DM me later.
Absolutely. His stuff is just endlessly entertaining. Like, I'll just, put on a few of his videos, slide my phone in my pocket, and just listen to his, like, Transformers The Basics videos while I'm just doing stuff around the house or going on a walk. It's just such good content. Yeah.
Defunct Land is really interesting.
I love Defunct Land. They recently did a series on Jim Henson that I fucking adored.
Yeah, they also have a sub-series called Defunct TV, which is also really good. Probably the most, like, legit, like, TV style documentary content on YouTube, I feel.
I did not expect their episode on fucking Dragon Tales to actually be so fascinating.
If you want to know the many, many faults of Michael Eisner, this is the channel to go to as well.
Oh boy, man. Anything having to do with Disney is a fucking trip.
Yeah. He was originally in the gaming section, but he kind of does whatever he wants. I put Nakey Jakey here. He's your boy. He does all kinds of videos on like what it was like to download music illegally, or like dating apps, or like but sometimes I'll talk about like Rockstar's game design being outdated, or like his gaming memories of bad times in his life or whatever. He's an interesting guy. Shout out to Max G and Brain Dump.
Very infrequent uploader, but always good. Like the two videos that I think I would the most readily recommend from Brain Dump are the Powerpuff Girls video and the Apu That I Know.
Yeah.
The Apu That I Know is really good. Like that's like a 45-minute video from it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a really good response to the controversy surrounding the character of Apu from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And how some people believe he is a racist stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
And, Max G does a really amazing job defending this character and explaining, why Apu is actually a really important part of The Simpsons.
Yeah. And I don't even watch The Simpsons, and that video was fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to James Tolos. I recently discovered him. He's a very amateur. He has a camera, and he points it at himself, and he talks for the most part. But he talks about like YA fiction and like different book series, and he's really passionate about it. I've just discovered him recently. He's pretty good. Matt Stoney. He does what the fuck is it called? Competitive eating videos or eating challenge videos.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a good time waster. These two kind of go hand in hand. Michael Reeves and William Osman. They're very old school YouTube. Prank videos, robotic videos. Because they're very technically inclined. Like Michael can like build robots to do stupid shit, and it's really usually tase people in creative ways.
Of course.
But I found him because on the Rooster Teeth podcast they mentioned Michael Reeves' video where he made a Roomba that screams when it bumps into a wall.
Isn't that just the Roomba from A Hat in Time?
Kind of. Except it's like actual like ah, oh, fuck, why?
Oh my god! I'm just imagining. You buy a Roomba, take it out of the box, set it up. You set it to clean whenever there's something dirty on the floor. It bumps into the wall, and you just hear in the back.
Yeah. Also,
hear in the back. Fuck.
William Osman recently did a video where like he got like 7 of his friends together and they all bought Roombas, and he dumped a huge mountain of chocolate pudding on the floor, and whatever Roomba cleaned it up the best one. Like shit like that is so fucking funny. And he has like a series of videos where he invites famous YouTubers and other like celebs and like makes them do the egg drop test from high school. He gives them like $5 to go to Dollar General and build a fucking egg capsule to survive being thrown off his roof. Very old school YouTube. Love it. Some of these are a little bit more obscure or like niche, but I'm gonna give a shout out to Mossbag, the Hollow Knight YouTuber for lore analysis and just amazing comedy. He's great. I can't wait for. He's remaking his like. He did a big like Hollow Knight lore breakdown video when the game first came out, but it's very outdated because of the updates and like the stuff and like the supplementary content. I think he's like remaking the whole thing, like very intricately. I can't wait for that.
Didn't he reply to your oh god, what was it?
Gleamlight. Yeah. He saw
video.
Yeah, he saw my Gleamlight video and he replied to it, and that was like a meet my hero moment. Rank 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Rada, you might see him on Twitter. He reviews Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetypes, good and bad. Sometimes he'll also review like card art and stuff like that. He's a funny boy. Scalagrim, he does weapons. He's like a mixed weapon fighter guy. He, reviews swords and sword brands and like talks about like safety and discipline and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And like he used to do a series where he'd break down fantasy weapons based on like feasibility. The Storyteller, he has a really cool series called Operation Black Steel, which mostly talks about the Boondocks, but is in general about like Black people and Black culture in media and all of the different topics relating to it. And even as someone who's not Black, I find it just fascinating how he breaks this down and his perspective on things. Because he's not like, he's very level-headed about it, and I really like the Storyteller. And then the last one in the miscellaneous category is the Wolf Pit, and he reviews food from the Dollar Tree. Basically, he reviews very cheap food, like frozen food and stuff
for you, the people, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
I've watched Wolf Pit.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Much older than most YouTubers we talk about, but he's cool. He also does like cheap family recipe videos, or sometimes he'll just like do cooking instructional videos. He's cool. I was gonna talk about binging with Babish, but everyone knows Babish.
Everybody knows Babish, and
he's great. And then very quickly, because we're running out of time, I want to briefly go over the rest of my gaming list. Rasputin, very interesting video. He's recently done some videos experimenting with his wife, who doesn't play games, and documenting her experiences playing like Breath of the Wild or Minecraft or like various samplings of games, and how she like goes about trying to control them. That's really interesting. Daryl Talks Games, good analysis channel. Colin's Last Stand, Colin Moriarty. He does like news breakdowns and like historical analysis of various companies and genres and stuff like that. Really like his channel. Design Doc, he does a lot of game design and like UI analysis. He has that series Good Design, Bad Design, which is really good. Funk, I love Funk. He does a lot of TF2 videos. He's done like some videos on like platformers like A Hat in Time.
He's done A Hat in Time, but I need to watch it then.
Yeah, I think he's done that. He mentions a lot, and like he has a video on like modding, the importance of modding tools, the importance of mapping tools. His second channel has some cool videos. Like he has a video on Erased I recommend to people a lot for some reason. He's got a video on JoJo Color Theory. I think I showed you that one once.
Dude, I've watched that video like 5 times.
Yeah. Funk is great. Both his main and secondary channels are really good. Even just like his stream highlights I really like, because he's a funny guy. Easyscape, I've discovered recently. He's a speedrunner. Or I think it's 2 guys actually. They're both speedrunners.
Yeah. And
they talk about speedrunning things. A lot of Mario 64, but that's a very popular like baseline for talking about like speedrunning exploits and like historical stuff.
Yeah, like if you want like a baseline of just speed, like the speed running holy trinity, it's basically Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 64, and Doom.
Yeah, but he also does other things. Like he did a video on like the Spyro Reignited trilogy, reviewing it as a perspective of someone who speedruns the original games and plans to speedrun the Reignited trilogy. That's a little outdated now, but I think he did a follow up. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm speedrunning through this list here. So. Heavy Eyed, he does some interesting analysis. Recently, he did a pair of videos on the economic impact of buying games, which is a little depressing but informative. But he's also done some videos in the past. He's the guy who coined the term high-bit that I really like to describe modern pixel art games. I really like the term high-bit. I need to use it more in my daily linguistic usage. Midden Squad, he does challenge videos about Fallout, Borderlands, BioShock, stuff like that. He's really entertaining. Overlord Gaming, they are a consumer activist kind of channel, and they talk a lot about DRM, and they talk a lot about good consumer practices. They do a lot of news breakdowns about bullshit in the industry. They do a bit of software and analysis of like how games perform and stuff, kind of like a light version of Digital Foundry, but not quite as in depth.
Speaking of which, Digital Foundry, hey, what's up?
I didn't write them down because I thought you would mention them.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Digital Foundry because I really enjoy their technical breakdown videos for a lot of games.
Yeah,
it's a really good way of getting a good baseline of what is a good port and what isn't in terms of like mostly Switch games. But it's also interesting to see just how certain games on other platforms, like Switch, utilize things like post-processing effects or lighting or other sort of rendering materials to kind of elevate their visual design.
I would say Digital Foundry, less personality-driven content, more very good technical resource.
Yeah. I'd say that.
Very, very helpful to what we like to do.
Yeah.
And then other great video essay channels, Ragnaroks and Racevic. They're really good. They do great retrospectives and analysis of recent games and stuff. And then the last one I put at the last minute was Rerez reviews shitty old consoles.
Oh god, I love Rerez.
Yeah. And that's a sampling of all the fucking shit I watch.
Turns out I actually had a fair bit to say.
Yeah, and I cut out a lot.
I bet you did.
Yeah, but this is a good sampling of the kind of stuff I watch that I'm obsessed with. This is the new TV for me. That's what YouTube is, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I don't have to sit there and wait for shit anymore. I can go out and find it, you know. And as stupid and bullshit as the platform is, it's given rise to some incredibly creative people that make some amazing content that, you know, expands my worldview and teaches me new things, and it's a window to the world and all the various hobbies and bullshit that I'm interested in, and gives me some awesome personalities to follow and some amazing comedy, and some videos are just so watched. I love video essays. People shit on them these days with the fucking just put a lo-fi track to the fucking. I fucking hate those people. Fucking get laid, okay? Like, I love video essays. They're rewatchable to me after a while. It's like you come back to them. It's like coming home. It's like very comfy. It's like somebody's just gushing about something you love, and it's like, yes, I want to be back in that time where like I discovered someone else who loves or hates this thing as much as I do and can just articulate it, you know, as well as I could if I wasn't so lazy, you know. You know, and these are all people I admire and I aspire to be like one day with my content. And it's just
same here. Like, yeah. I do want to get into actual like video production. It's just a matter of finding the time and finding the living situation, which hopefully will get fucking fixed soon enough.
Yeah. Obviously, we're very inspired by these people and many others, and all the people Kevin can't remember.
Of course.
Yeah. You know, it's almost good you didn't have a list because I had so many to go through.
Yeah, it's kind of a good thing. My forgetfulness kind of worked in our favor.
In a way, that's why we're the perfect pair.
Yay.
Yep. I know it doesn't make you feel good, but it works out somehow. And we didn't have any questions or anything, so... But you can send in questions and topic suggestions to the show at bakagaijinshow@gmail.com if you feel so inclined, and we'll read them out on the show. But that's gonna be the show. My throat is so fucking dry right now.
Yeah, but you know, I think it's, you know, do good work here.
Yeah, hopefully I've given you fine listeners some new content to look into, because all those guys and some of those girls are amazing, and hopefully we're amazing, you know, and you like us. Hopefully you like us. But this has been the Baka Gaijin Show. You can find our info on the end slate. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. Join our Discord server in the link below. And we will see you on the next episode of the Baka Gaijin Show. Zeke, Freek out. Ciao, ciao for now.